Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wacky Wednesday. You will notice that, hang on a second, this stream didn't arrive on Twitch. No, it didn't. Because today is Twitch Blackout in solidarity with everything that is going on over there right now. And even though some people are choosing to still stream because they need to, here at Gold Heart we don't need to. We're here to have fun, we're here to entertain, and so we are recording today just as is, and we're going to upload it on YouTube, as you can see, because you're probably watching this on YouTube. I am Leonie, also known as Glossing Gadgets, and I am the Great Golden Stag of Gold Heart. And of course, you're watching A Date with Death, Part 5 of The Ghost of Vandersand. And I say it like that because my party know that they wanted to do all the side missions, and we only had 3 sessions worth of content, but this is the kind of wacky things that happen on Wednesday. I don't know I have a plan. I have no idea if the plan's going to happen. I don't think my party know if the plan's going to happen, but here we go. We're going to go see. So a couple of things to note. We are using the 5E system today, and while we love everything D&D, we are not specifically approved, sponsored by, or affiliated with Wizards of the Coast LLC. But you know who we are sponsored by, and you know who we are affiliated with? The said 3Z 3D Works, who make wonderful 3D printed cups like this one, which you saw me paint on Sunday Shenanigans. And they are 3D printed can holders. So you get your can, and they've spilt it a little bit, so it's all dripping, and then you put your can in, and then you do this. And you can paint them, so they're all pretty, like I did here. I even stuck gems on mine, can you see? Bling bling. So yes, we are absolutely thrilled to be sponsored by them. We are going to drop their link in the info box right below, so you can go check them out, and if you click on our link, you'll get 12% off any order. So go check them out, because one thing that I really like about their prints, because as you can see, I've painted some of them, is that they're ready to paint. So all I did was just prime them lightly and painted them. Sometimes when you buy 3D prints, you have to give them a quick sand and buff them down and make them all smooth. Not with 3Z 3D, which is why we wanted to be sponsored by them. Anything else to tell you? No, because we're not live, so there's no point of doing anything about stags or the bit goal, which you can see, or anything like that. So let's just jump right into our recap, which is going to be very short and brief. I think that's what I'm thinking of. I'm having a day, let me tell you. So the first thing our party did was they went and investigated that attic, which they have wanted to do for a while. And I'm just going to preface this this little bit of the recap with some information. A long time ago, there was a house that stood in the place where the Coachwell's Manor now stands. It burnt down. Burnt down from the top down. So anything that was at the top, like the attic, is gone. And it was just ruins and ashes, and there were some jokes about maybe they mixed the ashes of the house into the mortar. I kind of liked it, so yes, that totally happened. They went and investigated the attic, to which they found a rocking chair with a cloaked shaped figure on it. And Lenobi went over to it to investigate, because everything in this room was dusty. There was like cobwebs across the face and everything. But the only thing that had been disturbed, there was no footprints on the floor, but the only thing that had been disturbed was this rocking chair, which was pristine and clear, as Dorothea investigated later. When Lenobi touched this cloak, a whole, what do you call a swarm of moths? Is it just a swarm? Do they have a special name? Can someone Google that for me, because it's going to bug me all session.
But there was up a name for it, like a ball of moths.
A illustrating conclave of moths erupted from this cloak. Lenobi was quite sure that they almost ate one. Their little mechanical bats stored one to investigate later. Some of them were just being quite useless, flying towards light sources, because moths have no purpose. And there was a great cacophony, and the party were investigating the attic, but there wasn't really much in there apart from this now empty cloak, all the moths, and this disturbed rocking chair.
It's called an eclipse. An eclipse. They're an eclipse of moths.
An eclipse of moths.
Sorry, it was just
No,
cool.
thank you. I asked you to Google it for me, so I love that. Okay, I now learned something. An eclipse of moths. Meanwhile, downstairs, Bartholomew was, or should I say, Bartholomew's llama head was smoking a cigar and stirring some whiskey. Actually, not really. But they were guarding the fireplace because one thing that they did know about this house was that there was a whole. I'm going to be blinded. There was someone coming along to put blood on the hearth of the fireplace, and so Bart was guarding it. But as Bart was waiting and trying to almost goad the entity that was perhaps in the house, blue flames erupted from the fire and the candles. But this did not shake Bart because very little shakes Bart. Bart tried to goad it more before Bart was pitched in darkness. And there was a loud ruckus that drew the attention of the party. When the lights came back, the blood was certainly there on the mantelpiece. And Bart, if I'm not mistaken, you have blind sense, don't you?
That is correct.
Yes, and we did at the time discuss that with your blind sense, you didn't sense anyone near you. Is Princess okay?
Yeah, she's fine.
Okay, sorry, my partner's just carried my cat in, and I was concerned. It's really hot out, and they escaped this morning. But back to the recap. Bart investigated the blood and discovered that it wasn't humanoid blood. It wasn't creature blood. It was, in fact, paint. Someone had painted the stain back, and that is why it kept returning. And then I have a little bit of a mind blank on what happened next. But the party found a way downstairs. I do believe it was in the kitchen. Good, everyone's nodding. I am right about what I remember. And there was this false wall almost that they had detected. This was Bart's moment to shine. They drew up everything they needed, spent those special moxie points that they had been storing up, and absolutely obliterated this door into very, very fine, powdery splinters. It was that impressive. It was a nat 20, just to clarify.
Also, don't breathe in
Yeah.
powderized splinters. That's real bad for your lungs, people. Just hold your breath, FYI.
Safety first. And it was there at the end of the session, at the end of the session, as Dorothea took her first steps down these very smooth, very old cobblestone steps that were just a little bit too narrow for a foot. We're going to pick up our session. Take it away, players.
All right, just be careful. Some of those cobblestones might be loose, Dorothea. I don't want you to fall.
You're muted.
Yeah.
I am muted on Zoom. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I got my shell to slide down on if need be. It's fine. I'm just gonna drag a long fingernail down along the wall. See if I bring up any cobblestones.
Right? Are they old? All of us are just headed Lenobi's gonna walk ahead of you. Like in their mind, they're going, "I'm helping." Like how you just
I'm
like give your
helping
arm
the
to an
old
old lady as
lady.
they help. They're like their hands like, oh, it's like I'm helping. I'm like testing the step before you come down.
Oh, don't worry about it, child. My 500 pounds will crush you, so just step out of the way.
That's all I'm like. They're like, I got you. And you're like, oh, you poor summer squish. Um,
I'm just
and
excited to go back underground. It's been forever.
And in that sense, after you, good sir. And Bart like makes a weird dramatic bow at Fox and like tells them to go first.
Wait, so
And that
So
from a Lord of
we-
Waterdeep himself.
Quite.
we're just mocking everybody as we go down. Am I getting cold? Well, I guess that's how I use my ghost sense is I start getting sleepy as we like dive down. Am I sensing anything? Am I starting to get like tired?
Sorry, I muted myself. So, as you start to descend down, the first thing you would notice is this passageway both looks unused and used. I'm using your passive investigation here because this is just information I'm going to give you. It looks both unused and used. So, the steps look fairly clean, but there's that. I don't know if you've ever left a room for a long period of time and then you come back and there's that cold, mildewy smell, and the walls are just like a bit clammy and wet.
Mm-hmm.
There's that going on,
That
and there's
smell.
like, yeah, and there's like that, like cobwebs, but some of them have been disturbed. Obviously they're like new fine spider webs that you can see. Excuse me, that you can see formed, but you could also see older ones that have been ripped through and they're just like kind of like laying there. You know, when you disturb cobwebs and they just like lay there limply against the wall for no reason. And they're like that weird yellow grey colour. So you can see that. And then as you descend a little bit further, you start to hear the sound of rushing water. Because what you're actually entering is almost kind of like a engineer's entryway to the sewer. And you hear the water first, and then you smell the smell. I'm going to let your own imaginations handle that smell.
Tastes like humans down here.
Yeah,
Weird.
I reckon.
Like, oh yeah. We're a bunch of beings that have really sensitive noses, and we're just like this, the group stank face that we all just made, like as a unit. It was just
Ugh. Yep.
it was like everybody else is like covering their nose, but Lenobi covers their mouth because they smell with their tongue. They're like,
I mean, yeah. I mean, Bart doesn't
In the
actually like.
village that ate humans. It's not that bad.
You might not smell something, but your llama definitely has like on like a small gas mask.
Yeah, exactly. The llama puts on the gas mask because
It
Bart
has like
doesn't
an
so much
incense
as
stick, and it's
smell,
just like
but yeah, smells get absorbed by the bark that is Bart.
oh no.
So they can.
Os-
It's like.
osmosis.
So yeah, exactly.
Osmosis.
All of a sudden, the llama that Bart has used instead of the skull has a gas mask pulled over, and then is holding in its little paws incense stick holder, and the incense is lit. And so now patchouli and THC smells, cannabis patchouli wafts through in front of Bart because that's how you do
Lenobi
incense
moves back
sticks.
to be closer to Bart. Yes. This is preferable to what's
Yeah.
happening. I have that map. I did like the sketching of the map of like the underline, so we kind of know where we are, so we can at least move forward a little bit. We but we go in. We definitely do go in. And what do you? How long do you guys think it'll?
Is there,
Anything anybody can immediately think to do down here?
Is
I'll
there
get
any
you-
more? Is there any more trace of the trail that we followed to the secret door?
Yeah, when
Right
it
in the
like
disturbed
didn't it glow?
cobwebs and stuff. Yeah.
Well, if we find a body, I can always speak with it, but that's about
Yeah.
the extent that I can do.
Okay. Wait, hold up. I gotta pull up my stuff. Probably do that.
So now that we're down the stairs and in this lovely place, Bart is like, okay, follow me, everybody. And then just wanders off in, in a random direction. I know it's this way, turns left. Yep.
Whichever way
Yes.
you point, Lenobi just looks at the map and then just kind of like moves your arm to the right direction, and then goes, "Yeah, okay, follow you."
Perfect. I, as the most decisive member of this team, shall lead us
But
to.
you are though.
I, unfortunately, the plant goon is the one that
You're like the
is
most
most.
decisive.
Okay.
Uh,
And yeah, so I obviously like pretend to be leading, but Lenobi's like guiding us.
all right.
And I would like
So
to. Do we need
is
to
there
roll
any
like
more?
survival? Yeah. To.
Yeah, for that
Okay.
the trail we were following, is it still glowing? Wasn't it like glowy?
Yeah, we were doing. There we go. You've just reminded me now of what. Sorry, it's been a few weeks, hasn't it, since we've last played? So you've just reminded me. Who was? It was a smell, wasn't it? Oh yes, you were trying to find the powder that made the lights blue. There we go. I'm back on track.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're doing like a whole Witcher thing where you're trying to follow the smell and the perfume, and so you see this glowy thing. It gets more difficult near the water,
All right.
but you can see kind of like a pathway and a walkway just on the edges of like the, because I don't know if you've ever seen an old school sewer. We have lots here in London because our sewer system is ancient, but they're kind of like edges, and then they just have like a little tiny dip, and then water trickles through.
You know what you're talking about? Yeah.
Yeah. So like you don't have to step in excrement or any bodily fluids or anything anyone.
kind of sidewalk and it's the little.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
exactly. So yeah, it's harder near the water. Occasionally you will lose it, and then pick it back up. But I'm not doing any survival checks today. And it leads down a singular path. And eventually, you kind of see like a light from the streets above. Occasionally, shadows will cut across it as someone stumbles home drunkenly because it is nighttime. And you come to a very large room. And everyone here has dark vision, I do believe, except for Bart. Because of the light of the moon above and the occasional cutting in of a shadow, you see. It takes a moment for your eyes to adjust. And you see a large basin of water and a rusted old frame around the edge that kind of leads all the way around to another tunnel. And at the far distance, you see a ghostly white figure. You're not sure if it's male or female presenting, or feminine or masculine presenting. But you just kind of see this ghostly humanoid shape.
Does it feel the same as what I felt when I saw the outline in the chair?
No.
Oh, there's more. Okay.
I mean, there's like 7 or 9 different apparitions that have been.
True. Okay, so I had no sense of danger. I'm gonna go investigate. You are muted, darling.
Oh, I am. Damn it! Oh, every time. Before you run out, I'm gonna put a paw out and grab your shoulder and say, "Wait just a minute. I'm casting protection from evil and good on you."
Oh, thank you. I'm normally the one that's stopping people. That was so weird. So I'm going, wait. I am now
How?
protected.
I mean, yeah, Bard's blind sense only goes out to 30 feet, so they are blind outside of that range. So, yeah,
Yeah, it's
they
about
just
60 foot away.
right. So they just
Yeah.
assume they need to
Everything's
continue
fine.
moving in a general direction.
I am gonna approach. I'm not gonna just like run up to it and just like sucker punch it or nothing. But I do want to start approaching it to try to see if I can.
Are you doing this quietly? Are you doing this normally?
I would like to. I would like to do this quietly. Yes.
Throw me a stealth check, please.
Linobi, before you go, if we're gonna be sneaking around down here like we used to back in our warrens and dens, we should do it as best we can, and Fox will cast Pass Without a Trace.
Okay. We're doing it.
I forgot how stealthy Bar was actually.
And so then that would be nice. So 28.
Very nice. Lenobi, you are one with the shadow. You probably couldn't be more snake-like if you tried on 2 feet. You are completely at ease at how you're maneuvering around slippery bits of moss and creaking bits of metal as you edge. And as you kind of get 1/3 of the way around, you kind of see this ghostly figure disturb. You see that it's a very beautiful elf. You're still completely unsure whether it's feminine or masculine because the features are so androgynous, it can go either way. And then you see this ghostly figure move out a little bit. They kind of look around. But as they move out, you see a large mass of ooze attached to them move forward with them.
Mask?
A mass.
And you said ooze?
Ooze.
Ooh, okay.
Ooze.
You can kind of see shadows, almost humanoid in shape, inside this ooze attached to this elf.
It just keeps being interesting. They're like gonna continue. So they've entered curiosity mode. So you fools, you sent me with no backup.
The
And I
worst
have
kind
no
of
sense of
mode.
self-preservation.
It's the most terrible of all modes.
But nobody has no sense of self-preservation. They're just like, ooh, oh, okay. It doesn't seem. I mean, would I feel anything? I know you put protection against good and evil on me, but would I feel if anything was trying to come at me because of that?
Yeah. What I will say is, just roll me a straight wisdom check. Your street smarts, your instincts, or a survival check if that's better.
Is it good? Let's see. No. But I rolled a 19 plus 1. I just rolled. I love my Leo dice.
They are so lucky for you. Okay, your street smarts tell you that right now you are so one with the shadows, so quiet, that whatever this creature is, or however this, because you're kind of looking at this, you can see this elf so well in the darkness. They have no irises, just sclera. and whatever, and then this mass attached to it, and it's just kind of like looking around, like it's keeping a lookout, and then kind of shrinking back into the shadows. Whatever it is can't see you right now, but you don't know why. You assume it's because you're being really super quiet.
Really stealthy, yeah.
You're about, I would say you're about 70 feet away from it at the moment. This is a really big, wide circle place.
Okay, I would like to take a better look at the surroundings than being solely focused on the figure. Then, while I have a chance to be like, they are very interesting, but then Lenobi is going to try to do, I guess, more of a perception check of the area around them, see what things they might have to protect themselves. I'm sorry, Ursula, please.
It's okay, she can hear me. She loves her auntie.
Every time. But would that be a perception check?
I would say just to assess the battlefield, so to speak.
Yeah, so yeah, basically,
Yeah.
and then I can go back and kind of tell people where we can go to go in there safely. I'm reconning now.
Yeah.
And Lenobi was worried that they didn't have any backup, but Fox is definitely like starting the incantations of a firebolt and watching what's going on.
I didn't ask for the size of the room. I said I cast 8 plus 4. Ooh, cool.
I didn't. Wait. Oh, hold on. Time out for 1 second. What was that from that you just said, Buns?
What? Which part?
You said I didn't ask for the size of the room. I said I cast. What is that from?
It's just a meme. I just see it all the
Oh,
time.
okay.
Like, I didn't ask for square footage. I said I cast fireball.
Okay. All right. Cool.
You hear it all the time.
It makes sense in D&D, and I was like, no, that's the first time I've ever heard it, and I was hoping
cool.
anyway. Sorry, I apologize. I just
Yeah, you're good. I rolled
hilarious.
12. I don't think it's very impressive. I am too entrapped by the figure themselves and how much I'm seeing, but I'm like also trying to survey. Hopefully a 12 tells me something.
Okay, so I will tell you the general. So there is a 5-foot path, because you're standing on it, all the way around this room. The only exit you can see that is not barred is where this creature is. Above you, it kind of like domes, and there's like a circular grate, like a bar grate, which you can see the moon and the sky and like some shadows of water deep, and the moon is pulling through. And then 5 foot, so you got the 5-foot path, and then in the middle of the room is a pool of water. It is dirty, it is murky, and you have bits of rusted fence, handles, the things they put on balconies to stop you falling over them.
Balustrades.
railings
And balustrades.
I mean,
fancy.
balustrades. Look, I
would like
I know.
It's an either or.
What?
Somebody decided they wanted to get a high Scrabble score, and I was just going for the triple points. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this
Bam,
fits.
knockout.
Yeah.
Get on my vocabulary level.
I can't.
Lays on
After
the floor.
you drop balustrades, there's no place for me to go. I can't beat it.
High word score awarded to Adelaide.
My one talent.
So pressed. Teach me. Railings, balustrades, if you're good at everything, they're there. Some of them have rusted away, fallen away. Some have fallen in. So there's like some nice metal bars you could think of. But that's about it for all that's in this room.
I'm trying to make sure that this can work. Can I have Mercutio, my little bat buddy? I would like to kind of point him and go where that grate is, where you said the moon and everything is. That's over the pool of water. I would like him to go up there.
Okay, sure.
So I'm just I need you to think. I have as an action, use tools of tiny objects. give a tiny object a visual, auditory, or that's a word I can't pronounce. Olfactory effect. I don't know what olfactory means.
The
Smell.
smell.
Smell. Thank you. Okay.
Sight, sound, smell.
But that'll be Mercutio's job. I'm gonna get. Funnily enough, thanks for the sound effects, Ursula. To make that noise up above, I want to see how the figure reacts to actually hearing something. So I would like Mercutio to go up there and make a little noise so that it can react and go towards.
Today, the party Mercutio will be played by.
Yes, it's the person at the door. Right, bear with me because I know exactly what that is. I can't say because it's a surprise. Bear with me. I'll be right back. But you can totally do that and describe it for me while I quickly go deal with this thing.
Well, okay.
Oh, my partner is dealing with it. It's this.
Oh, yeah, mate. There you go.
All right. So what I want to know is, can you rebuild these things after one gets swallowed and dissolved in an ooze's stomach? I'm just curious.
I don't know if I've ever gone into depth with exactly
You
what
haven't.
Mercutio is
Please tell
for
us.
and what he does. So Mercutio is just a nice little metal, all like little panels that create this little metal bat, and he is a little magical mechanism that runs as Lenobi's assistant. He goes and he gathers things, and he holds things in his belly, and whenever she needs components or something, he'll open up and he'll get it for her. He also has a he works kind of like the little beads that tracked Fox for us. Lenobi's goggles, what they do is they connect, and what they want happen magically. They kind of tap, and the Morse code that it hears from the tapping is like a button, or like what you would do to like give directions. Those are his directions. So by tapping Morse code on her goggles, the noise it makes for Mercutio is like his command center. So she's gonna let him go and point him in a direction, go fly, and then tap, which will make him make a noise. So he'll kind of fly up there. It's a sewer. There are animals and things that shouldn't bother the thing too much. But then I want it to mimic a voice. It records voices, but mimic a voice and make it sound like somebody's coming in to see what it does.
Okay.
So it just goes shiny.
Let me just.
Mercutio has 5 favorite words, one of which is shiny.
Oh,
He says it all the time.
So we're yet to hear the other 4, yeah. Definitely likes that one.
Right, 1 second. I'm just checking some quick stats.
No problem.
No, yeah, I can do what I want it to do. So, Mercutio goes up to the grate.
Hands upside down, and just goes, open his wings and goes, shiny.
Now, because I'm not an evil DM, I'm going to describe for you what's going to happen. And I'm going to give you the opportunity to decide what happens.
Gotcha.
So, Mercutio says, shiny, 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 shiny. It echoes around the room. You see red ooze kind of like come out of the pathway that is being blocked, and kind of like arms everywhere, and it almost pushes this elven figure out. You can see this elven figure is not just kind of like attached to it, it's almost made of it. And suddenly large long arms, tendrils shoot out, kind of like a mismatch because of the echo.
Mm-hmm.
Like they like kind of wherever the sound bounces, because obviously
It goes towards the sound.
So it's kind of like an almost random spread. So some aim at Mercutio, some aim at the bounce on the walls, but there are about 100 tendrils that spread out. And if anyone would like to roll me a history check, I can tell you what this is.
100. Bart is blind and does not see 100 tentacles. Thank
Do we want more
goodness.
information? I'm not sure.
I'm too scared to roll history, DM. I don't wanna.
Now, I rolled.
I'm getting a little too old in the old thinker.
I got a dirty 20. I did a 15 plus 5.
I got 18.
Lenobi, Fawkes, you have a very distinct memory of one time you were in the sewers in the city of Silvery Moon. You were hunting not a ghost, but an adult Oblex. and you know that this tendrilled creature with an apparition attached to it is an adult Oblex. So, Lenovi, this is your agency.
Mm.
Does Lucutio slip through the bars, or does he get catched by a tendrils? Would you like to decide it by fate, or would you just like to decide? You may roll a almost dexterity saving throw to avoid for Mercutio, or you can just go, no, I don't want this to happen to my bat, please.
Mercutio is a construct.
Mhm.
He has been remade and broken multiple times. All it would ask is that his body be retrievable. If it has a way to get out, or will it just be destroyed? That's what I would like to know.
If you are quick and you defeat this creature, it is it acid?
Yeah,
I'm just double checking if this one is
Yeah.
acid. No,
Yeah,
this one is psychic damage.
Oh.
Yeah, so you can see, as I said, there were shadows inside it of like bones and limbs. So having fought one of these before, you already have the knowledge that this creature only does psychic damage. Mercutio might be a little bit beat up, but he won't be dissolved.
Okay. So saying with the connection that we've made, this has happened before, and that's how I lost the last one. And so he's been upgraded, and we'll take the hit, because I need to see what it does and stuff. So he takes the hit and just kind of crumples. But as long as I can extract a small bit of him, I have a little piece of it. Each Mercutio has a piece of the last one. That's like the starting point for the new one. So there's always a piece of the last one there.
Okay,
I
so
thought about this before because I was like, sooner or later something's gonna happen to this bat.
So what you kind of see, I don't know if you've ever seen those weird sticky hands.
Oh yeah, that just kind of. Oh no, yeah, I know what you mean. It just.
Yeah. So it kind of just one finds Mercutio, it kind of like sticks on him with this gooey substance, and then they sink back and you see him disappear into the red ooze.
The thing about gooey hands is they only last for about 30 seconds because they just collect garbage on them. So I just can imagine how much like dust and
This thing looks filthy.
sewer,
Yeah.
and sewer stuff is like inside of this. Like anyway, I'm just
He
grossing
said
myself
his
out
third
over here.
favorite
No
road.
big deal.
I'm glad you're doing it and I'm not doing it to you.
Mercutio says his third favorite road, grass.
We heard another word.
If anybody wants, I will let everyone. I will let everyone in the group know. There's 5 words. Everyone else watching will have to find it out as they watch.
Whoa! Subscribe to our Patreon to figure out what the 5 words are.
Hey, now you good?
Links in info below.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Yep. Hey everybody! I just want to let you know that we all have Ko-Fis.
We've got an OnlyFans now.
I have a
Don't
question.
worry, everybody. I got banned from OnlyFans. I'm not allowed to post on OnlyFans. There was some discussion, and I'm not allowed. Evidently, I don't know why.
I have a question for OnlyFans. Is it just for porn?
No, but it's meant.
It's
mostly.
mostly.
Oh, okay. It's mostly porn.
I mean,
okay.
you can also do like lewds and things
Okay.
like that,
Soft porn.
or just exactly.
I
But it's
think-
mostly
To
for
the
it.
intermission.
I
Yeah,
have
it's
questions.
a-
Okay, I see them, and I'm like, I want to kind of know what's on here, but I don't necessarily want to play immediately. Just
Yeah,
in case
There's
I
an OnlyFans where I read to people in different voices. I'll
In
just
case-
read erotica and do all the voices.
in case I get a shock, like I don't need to see everything.
It's mostly sex work. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's a different avenue outside of like Snapchat and like
Okay.
camming to be able to, and many anyway. Having friends that work in this industry, I know lots about it.
I will ask
But
you
anyway,
questions in our break.
okay.
I have questions because I've always wondered. But
So
anyway,
Mercutio gets got. Now, one of the things, because he is a construct, one of the things that I have on him was that I could kind of see the last things that he saw, kind of a thing. So after he gets got, like Lenovi shows, I hate it every time it happens, but it does happen a lot. Mercutio gets broken. I have to rebuild him. but what I saw or what he saw last as he was done with, was it any information I could get from that? Other than, oh crap, yeah, this is definitely an adult version of that thing. I want to call it an oobleck, but that's not what you said.
Ooblex.
It's an obelisk. Oh, whoops, nope.
Ooblex.
Right.
Oblex. Oblex.
Oblix.
Ooblex. I say ooblex.
And I keep thinking of that stuff you make with cornstarch that's really gooey until you put pressure on it and then it's hard. It's called oobleck.
Okay.
Yeah, it's called
one,
ooh.
yeah.
So I keep thinking that's kind of what you're describing. So now I'm just like, cornstarch monster.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ugh.
But ones that can make people. Because Mercutio is a construct, he isn't.
Is he unable to do that?
No, he can, because he automatically succeeds on the save for the eat memories. And what you kind of see as, like, you know, it's like a red blob and he's like sucked in. It's kind of like Mercutio's still functioning.
Yeah.
He's just kind of like floating around in this gross goo. And then like a skeleton hand floats past. And everything's like shadows, and then it's like a big skull rolls by, and that's about it.
Can he just kind of like connect? He have one of his little like paw hook things. He's just gonna kind of grab the skull wherever that skull is now. He's just gonna float on it now. He's just gonna ride with that skull
Okay.
for mom.
Ride or die the skull. All right.
Okay.
So- But after all
I'm
of
gonna go
this,
back.
because everyone is being really quiet, it just kind of shrinks back into its hole. You know how kind of spiders spring out their hole? It's just kind of
Mhm.
opposite, and then you just kind of see the elf. Sorry, there's a bit much for you, Adelaide.
No, I love it. I love getting spooked. There's a game that I play that has a monster that has like the little tendrils that all spread out
Mandibles?
everywhere. Whew! I love it. Scares me every time.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to the group now. Then, after seeing and marking where the exits, though they are covered, the exits are, and that the other viable one is where this being is, and kind of marking where things are. All right, I'm gonna go back, kind of shuffle back
I'm gonna
Everything.
need you.
to roll another stuff.
Yeah.
Do I still have pass out a trace? I just wanted to know.
Yes, I would definitely say so.
I mean, it lasts for 10 minutes.
10
Yeah.
minutes, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely hasn't been 10 minutes of game time.
So that's a 13, so 23.
Yeah.
First thing they do is go right to Fox. It's a big one of the thing. It's a big one of the thing.
It's up to an hour actually. Past that.
Oh,
Ooh.
wow. Okay.
What?
So that's actually useful for like overland travel, which who does that?
Yeah.
Do you hear me, John? Sorry.
A big one of what? There's been several things.
The oblong of the gaga.
Oh, good God! Not the oblagaga.
It was the little. Now it's a big.
Ew. Don't ever do this sounds
Slow,
again.
slow down. Use your
What,
words.
what did we do last time? What did we do last time?
Do we all know what an obligata blah blah is?
Abagaga?
I
Everyone
don't even
else,
know what the
I
actual
think,
word
can
is
say it.
now.
But
No, it's
like,
abagabaga now, I
But,
think. Is
like,
what-
You know, Big Mom can
Yesterday-
say whatever she likes.
yesterday, as I saw a roach and I went to go say, cucaracha, instead I said a chupacabra. So I don't know how to say words. But the obelisk, it's a big one. It runs on sound. I have to build a new Mercutio. Maybe. He's still floating around. We have to figure out what to do. There's only one exit. The body is there. And the moon's really pretty tonight.
Do you want me to go punch it? I can go punch it.
No.
So we didn't
Wait,
recognize
wait.
it on looks, but do we recognize it by Lenobi actually telling us what the name of it is?
Dorothea, obviously you manage all the cases. This was just this very special case that Lenobi and Fawkes was on in this one time. You know, it didn't require the whole team because it was an actual ghost thing, more
Right.
like a monster thing. So you are very familiar with the case of the Oblex in the sewers of Silvery Moon. But I will allow you to decide how you got involved in that story.
No, I mean,
Sounds like a
Bart is
no.
like, oh, you didn't have me help you punch monsters? I don't remember shit.
This is like this.
Me and
looking for
Shay were out in the
peaceful,
woods hanging out.
Yeah.
F you people. I
We
mean,
have a
no
series of
offense, no
detective
offense, but
novels.
also, yeah.
Well, I was still having heart surgery then, so I had to get
Dear
my fifth
God.
valve replacement.
Hey, we had it handled.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad, and it was small. Once we got past the goop and also the raging headaches, and also put it in a timeout, it was pretty okay.
Well, how the hell did y'all defeat that thing anyway? I forget.
So do we. We just sort of woke up and it was sleeping.
Hmm.
Wow, that's a terrible way to have defeated a monster. I just want to let you know.
I will
That's
allow
some-
you. I will allow you to run me another history check to see if you can recover some of your past memories, because I'm quite sure Big Ma would have had a greater restoration spell hired for you.
Okay, what do we roll?
A history check.
Rolled an 8. Damn. I'm not rolling good today.
I rolled.
Nope.
I roll history plus 5. 15.
That was 7.
I can make it fall asleep, but it might not work. So,
Forks, you you had the greater restoration, but it was quite a long time ago. It's just slipped your memory. You didn't think it was that important. But
Best I've slept in
Lenobi,
ages.
you remember this thing being very scared, and you kind of like drove it away and cornered it until you could get reinforcements from the Silvery Moon Guard, the spell guard people whose name slipped my mind right now, to come help you, and then you defeated it together. But you know it has an aversion, and you remember using almost like oil fire bombs to drive it away and corner it.
well,
How
we
did I
can
forget
always
that?
make some fire.
Which
Which is
Did I
Fox.
forget? I'm having a bit of a traumatic episode here. How did I forget that?
You can just
got really,
call
really excited
this
and super
oil
happy
and
then
this
fell.
fire. I can punch it.
I can punch it. You know, could you stand punching with fire?
I mean, Bard isn't made out of wood, which
That's what I mean. So if you want
which
to be
in
efficient,
game has no
They're arranged.
actual like detriment.
what I'm asking, what I'm asking player to player is, I have a really crazy plan on how to set this thing on fire, and if you want to be
You want
the
to
ignition to the flames,
if you want to rub my arms in some sort of oil and set me on fire so I can punch it with fire, hell yeah. Bart's into it. Bart will run in there and sucker punch this thing with flaming fists. No problem.
I think
Did I
I
ever
saw
tell
the
you what-
superhero movie once.
yeah, right.
I mean, look,
Lenobi is a battlesmith. I can infuse our weapons with fun, cool shiz. I specifically
and
did the
technically
things for
these
the
are
flavor.
considered weapons because they're also magical.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, in the game mechanics, they're considered magical.
Would you
For
say that
damage
because I have
resistance.
Tinkerer's tools, I have grease
yes, or lantern oil.
or lantern oil?
I have oil.
You have oil too.
I got a stick. It's my walking stick, but
Don't use
don't
that. You
wanna
need
burn
that.
Your walking stick.
well, I can.
Don't you all have starter packs? Which starter packs do you have?
Ooh, I got the scholars pack. What does that come with?
You've got paper, you've got ink. I do believe you also have. Here we go. Here's me trying to go off my memory. Let me just get
I
my
got
hand
10
up.
sheets of parchment, a
Mhm.
book of lore.
I have a mess kit, a bedroll, thieves' tools, tinderbox, torches, 10 days of rations, a water skin, 50 feet of rope, and a healer's kit.
Did you say tinderbox?
Tinderbox.
I do. Yep.
Tinderbox water skin.
No, but what are you doing relying on those stupid little things? I'm right here.
Yes, which is why you'll have a lot of fun doing these. I would like to take the tinderbox, and if you will allow me, Bart, tie the flints to your fists.
Okay. No problem. I'll scratch them on the ground as I
No, see, you
uppercut.
don't have to scratch them on the ground. You can go like this, and then punch.
Okay. Spark punch.
You can
Hell
spark
yeah.
them and then punch. As for the
I'm gonna
oil,
catch on fire so much. It's
I
fine.
mean, I
Don't
got
worry.
a little bottle and a little bit of paper. We can make one of them Molly Golf things.
Yeah, I gotta get a Molotov mocktail for the old Uba Laba na mama.
Well, you know
For
the
the-
Am I
one
right?
where
not
you
the-
throw it and it pitches on fire and all that.
Actually, those are really
Lenobi
hard
takes
to make.
take some string from her hair, and on your stick make like just kind of ties like 3 things on it so that you can go like this to do it from your stick now. they're just upgrading
Like a
everyone real
slingshot.
quick.
Okay, yeah, I get
We're
you.
just
Okay.
I'm just upgrading everyone right before we do things. It's just like, okay, you want to do the Molotov? Here you go. You can do it from a distance now.
Montage.
Yep,
Right.
yep. What else is being made?
Okay, so we have flint fists so that we can set the thing. We have the slingshot for the bombs, and then the last thing I was gonna do, which was going to be with my. Remember that list of weird shit I bought?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so hold up. I
It's
just have to
almost
go
like I
back.
knew.
It's almost like there
Hey.
was somehow somebody
Whoa.
understood that list of stuff.
Whoa.
So do you want me to empty out this water skin so we can put oil in it so you can make another? Like, is that what we're doing? Like creating several Molotov cocktails for?
I will permit you to do that, yes.
I mean, Dorothea with the worst dexterity in the world to actually use a slingshot. I mean, it's the
That's
worst
right.
idea I've ever heard.
I
so.
can do the basic modicum of things. Can you help me figure this? My fingers won't.
Yes.
Big meaty
and I'm
tortoise
gonna
claws.
hand you over. I'm gonna hand you over my stack of papers, and then immediately snatch it back and wait. That's my knitting schedule. Hold on, and I'll take my knitting schedule and then hand you
My
it back.
knitting schedule.
And as Bart thumbs through these papers to make
I got a
Molotov
quilting
cocktails,
bee, okay?
he's like, "Are you sure you want me to get rid of this? This seems like some pretty steamy fanfic here. I don't know if you want to burn this.
It's already on fire.
I mean, it's true. It's a hot mess all over these
I
pages.
kind of want to know if Dorothea wrote the fanfic or
I know.
bought the fanfic.
I mean,
And then
I was leaving
if
that up.
Dorothea reads the fanfic with, oh, okay, that's just telling. Okay, I'll leave that to my
The
imagination.
mystery is half the fun.
I will
Ooh,
be content
true.
with the fanfic.
Or is it a love letter from that demon from days gone by?
Oh
Ooh, talking
man,
about how he
it's not
misses
an
his
actual.
cactus
It's not.
flower.
Bart thinks it's a fanfiction, but it's actually actual factual
It's an autobiography.
history.
It's an
It's
autobiography.
an
Oh,
autobiography.
you're setting your autobiography on fire.
This is.
I have
There's
feelings
no way
about
this
that.
is real. It must be fan fiction. And Dorothea waggles her eyebrows. when
No,
Bart
the
says that.
memoir is in my lore book. The lore book is a lore book, but it's a lore of me
And your experiences. I
and
love
my
it.
exploits along the way.
I love it. I would so read that.
Me too.
It's
my
wanna read
memoirs.
it.
Please write this so I can buy it.
Please. Definitely lessons in there for us
I
all.
want to hear the life of Dorothea.
Right.
I'll see if I can
Yeah.
scribble up something later.
Yes.
It's alright. I'm
just
not going to
need
ask
some-
to
I
put it
just
on the
need some
Patreon or
tips.
anything.
I just need some tips. You know what I'm saying, Dorothea? Hook a wooden
It's all in the hips.
person up.
It's all in the hips.
Hook a log
Perfect,
up, man.
alright. Yeah.
Working title. It's all in the hips.
Just destroying
Chapter
stuff.
1, Desert Flower.
My cheeks hurt already.
Perfect. Okay.
All
right, back
the
to-
last thing that Lenobi wants to make is it involves a few things of rope. I want to tie them around like they are almost like a cat of nine tails,
Mm-hmm.
and then hook a few of my vials of grease to the inside of it, and when I uncork them, they'll go down the lines of rope. So as she runs around, she's basically just like making a trail of grease, because we have that pass out a trace, and I want to make a circle around this thing to trap it inside of the dome shape that it is already in. This is now a prison.
I mean, we're gonna have to draw it out again, which I'm
Well,
gonna
yeah,
have to do.
definitely.
Me.
Once the
I'm
circle is
the
completed,
bait. I'm the
then-
bait.
Oh, I was about to say, like, either you or no self-preservation here.
No, you have to run around it in a circle and try and trap it. I have to draw it out into the circle by
And then you
setting my
remember
hands on fire.
when you're ready to set it on fire, just so you can flick it and punch.
Folks draws out his clay. It's a clay flask of oil, and he says, I could get above where it comes out and rain this down on top of it to give it a little extra oomph."
Yes, please.
So Nobi's eyes are like this big. They're like, yes. They're having way too much fun. They just built a bunch of stuff. They're like, okay.
So somebody needs to actually put oil on my fist, so this isn't gonna work. Like I'm not. It's not. Look, it may look dry and branch-like, but it's not easy to light on fire.
Gotcha.
But that's too dangerous. I'll get oil on the creature, and then you just spark it up.
Yeah, because at the end we don't want you technically to catch on fire.
I mean, I'm gonna catch on fire.
You're probably gonna catch on fire.
The whole plan was for me to catch my fists on fire, so I feel like I'll do that.
Slightly
right.
on fire.
Right.
Now
I'm good.
How can we stop it? Can we stop it from just jumping in the water, though?
I mean, I will. I'll stop it from jumping into the water. It's my job.
I'll drop the rope into the water. That way it's oil water and fire can be on top of it. It's already fucking gross.
Look,
you're
I'm just
me
glad.
Whatever algae in there is not going to catch on fire. No, I don't think that's how that works.
I mean, there's probably plenty of petroleum byproducts in that water to catch on fire already.
What?
Oh, I mean, people dumping oil into. Come on, petroleum. Look.
There's a lot of chip shops up above here. They're dumping all their cooking oil. Yeah, that's what I'm sure. Mm-hmm.
Or just old lantern oil that they can't light anymore. Come on.
Okay.
And also
does
fossil
everybody
fuels.
kind of know what we're doing?
I mean, I know exactly what I'm doing. You just need to tell me.
Punch like no tomorrow once I give the signal.
Oh, Bart's like already starting to run. He's like, oh, there's a signal. Okay, hold on.
If you're just running, I'm like, that's the signal. That's the
wait. Let me get in position.
No. I know. I won't. I will not ruin the plan by running ahead because I've already done that before. You don't want to do it all the time. Your character wants to be. Yeah, you want your character to be fun, not detrimental. Hint to everybody who ever plays D&D and wants to be a shitty party member. I'm so edgy. I'll just fuck everybody up for my plan.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, side note. Sorry.
Okay. Lenobi, can I just get you to do me one thing? I want you to roll me a d6, please.
Of course. I'm going to use this guy.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 6.
You have made 6 Molotov cocktails.
Yes.
You managed to perfectly balance out the amount of oil you had to paper to get just the right enough that you know that these are going to set fire and when they break, going to spread. Maybe it won't be like, but
it'll
be enough. Yeah.
Right,
and you've made 6 of those. So just to make sure that I am in on the plan, because there was a lot of information thrown around there.
Gotcha.
The plan is this. Dorothea's going to use her new staff slingshot to use these flashbangs, fire bangs I'm going to now call them, coined by me. Fawkes is going to fly up to the top to get ready to rain on me oil, as if it's in that 80s movie about the dancer.
The verb is not fly, but yes.
Glide?
Climb.
Climb.
He's gonna flap up.
He's gonna climb.
Okay, climb up there. But before any of that happens, Bart is going to try and lure this creature out, not get it into the water, to allow Lenobi to run around with the grease rope to seal the creature in so it can't go nowhere.
Right. So I think Bart
is first.
Yeah, I think
rope
Bart
is first. Okay, yeah, give me the breakdown. What's first? Okay, right. Bart is last. So rope is first.
Yeah. So
okay.
So Lenobi will try to stealth and go around the creature again to try to make a seal for it.
Mm-hmm.
Dorothea is is backup / last line of defense with it. Once everything is set on fire, they will be there to kind of keep it at bay.
Mm-hmm.
Bart is starting everything off with setting the fire to trap it in there, and Fox is climbing up on top to stop it and cover it in grease so that it can
But
catch
I'm
if it does hit it. And
but
hopefully it will get
technically
in the water.
but
Mhm.
technically in the order, Fox goes before Bart. I just want to, so it's like
Yeah,
a
so it goes Lenobi,
timeline.
yeah, Lenobi, Fox, Dorothea, and Bart.
I
Okay.
mean, Dorothea just holds
So
actions, practicing. I don't know if you need to like steady yourself. You wanna prop up some rocks underneath
I'll
your.
lean against the wall, you know, get a nice.
I was
get
like,
a nice,
if we pile up stones to steady the stick, you might have an easier. But yeah,
Because I'm feeling very kind today, everyone, except Bart, because Bart, you said you weren't interested in the history of Silver Moon. I'm going to give you one more chance to remember something. This is a very high DC.
Nice. Yes. Well, probably I won't hit it anyway if it's high DC. But I got a 17.
11.
I'll take it.
He's at 11.
11.
Back to you. Back to you. History. 18.
Dorothea and Lenobi. You don't know what it is, but something about this plan seems off. You just can't quite put your finger on what order or what is gonna happen. There's something in the back of both your memories, and you can't quite put your finger at. You're so close. You were so close to that DC. So I'm gonna give you a hand, but there's something about this plan. Just seems a little wrong, but you can't quite put your finger on it.
I mean, it might just not be fire. It might be fire. What do they call it? Fire.
No, you're very sure about the fire. That you're sure. But there's something else about this creature that you're not too sure about. That the order of this plan just seems a little. As you're getting ready to set off,
I mean,
something seems a bit off.
The only order that I see that is an issue is if you lay that rope down first, it's not going to work because we have to draw the thing out of the tunnel because it's bigger. It's not just the elf. It's like it's jammed up in the tunnel. So technically, to be able to get a rope around it and light it on fire, I would need to go in and use thorn whips on it and drag it towards me so that we could try and get as much of it out.
Yeah, the rope isn't to tie up the creature. The rope is to set the oil on the ground around it.
No, I know, but you wouldn't be able to get around it, is what I'm saying, because it's jammed up in this tunnel.
Around it
I don't know.
No, yeah. So kind of imagine a little circular room, and then there's an archway. The elf and the creature is in the archway in the other tunnel that you're standing opposite.
So I don't know how big. I don't know how big it is.
That's the circular room.
Right. I don't know how big it is.
I thought that was a misunderstanding on my part.
Okay.
I thought they were in the middle of the circle room.
No,
and go around.
No. So there's the circular. So if you, I don't have any drawing utensils, but I'm just going to do this.
I get what you mean now.
Circle. Yeah.
So technically, I'm going to go first, and I'm going to just thorn whip this thing a couple times and try and drag it forward, because I'm fine with that.
We have the thorn whips. We have my fire bombs. We
I
have.
guess there's a half room.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
And where they are, and then the circle where the water is, and then the path.
Okay. Okay. Almost. I'm gonna have to pull my headphones out because I got to reach a pencil, which is behind me.
Oh no.
Oh, you're fine.
I think the walkway is round.
Allow your DM to just help you before we get going.
Full circle. I don't know if that's
it is a full circle, but the walkway is around the circle instead of through it, right? And then inside is the pool, and then the archways are. I don't know how. There's only one other archway, and then
there was mention of barred archways as well.
Right, exactly. I just don't know which ones are accessible outside of the one that the.
Ursula, please.
Oblige Noblige, which is not what it's called, but I'm gonna.
Give it a second.
Okay.
So you are the smaller circles.
Yep.
Okay.
It is the bigger circle. When Lenobi, when you came round first, you went like here and then like watched it. You sent Mercutio into the middle where the grate is. There's a grate up here at the top in like a dome room, and yeah, it's all up in this tunnel, and that circle is representative of its size.
So
Okay.
it's large. Okay.
Big boy.
All right, so then so then I get what you mean. So then as a group, then when should I try to trap him with the oil? Because then I think that means I need to go right before Bart. Then in the way that we're doing things, so Fox should go first to get up top, I believe, and then I still think Dorothea should be like,
Ready?
yeah, you should be
Mhm.
ready, like just kind of like
Yeah,
holding.
I'll be in the back. I'll stick in
Yeah.
the back where I can have walls lean on and balance myself and go from a distance.
And to be clear, DM, just so that you know, Thorn Whip affects creatures large or smaller. If you didn't already know that, I just wanted to. I just looked it up to make sure.
Even if they're an ooze?
I don't
The
think
spell
there's a- I don't
doesn't.
think it's
The
a-
spell doesn't indicate. It just says a creature
Mm.
make a melee spell attack against the target. If it hits, the creature takes 1d6 piercing damage, and if the creature is larger or smaller, you pull the creature towards you up to 10 feet.
The only reason I'm saying that is because
Oh, I
it's-
know. I
it's
understand.
it's huge, not large. Okay.
Oh well, if it's huge, that's not. Then it doesn't matter. Then my Thorn
Yeah.
Whip idea is not going to work.
Yeah, so sorry,
but
I'm
I
just-
don't
I'm
know
just looking
that.
at-
In
Well,
game.
yeah. So
So-
the only reason I say that is because it's ooze, and I know that when you fight oozes, like you will slice through it, but sometimes you can get stuck. Sometimes you can lose your thing, and if you want to try and restrain something, and I'm looking
I
at
think
its
it's,
immunities, blinded,
it's 100%.
charmed, deafened.
I think it's
Can't
like
be not
100%
prone.
up to. It's I think it's 100% up to the DM's discretion here because obviously this is like a cantrip, and so I can cast it at will because of the kind of creature I am.
Yeah.
But if it's like, oh, you can't, the thorns won't actually they'll just rip out of it. That's
Well,
fine.
you know, like you hold jelly and you squeeze it, it just kind of all goes
Right.
through your fingers. That's what I'm kind of
Sure.
imagining. But
Right.
but as you were quite rightly apt, it is a
If it's huge, then it's not going to
huge.
even matter.
Yeah.
But I mean, we don't know that, right? Like
You've only seen part of it.
right, and I don't think in character knowledge is like that's too big for me to use this spell on. You know what I mean? Like you got to try to figure that out. You can't just be like, So,
what did its reach look like on those tentacles? Like, do we think if we made noise where we are now, it would have to come out fully to reach us?
So, it's in the hole. We'll say the walls are 50 foot up till the start of the dome, and then I'm not doing circle math, and then we'll say it's an additional 30 foot to the dome. And it managed to come out partly from its hidey hole to the crucio, and it managed to reach him.
Right, so it's probably like 60 foot, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's 60 foot across.
Yeah.
Does it know any
And
languages?
Pardon?
It knows
Does it know
getting
any
beat up.
languages?
I'm going to have to get you to roll you that history check.
I mean, it does know a language. It knows getting beat up by Bart. That's the language it probably will soon understand. Do you want to try
Okay,
and?
so I rolled an 18 plus 5, so I think I know it this time. History check.
That's the roll you needed before. You know that ooblexes, because you did all your research in Silvery Moon, so you remember this piece of information from your research, is that all ooblexes speak common, but then they also speak 6 additional languages depending on who they've absorbed and where they're located.
Oh, that's cool.
Given that there is an elf in front of you, you can assume that it probably speaks Elvish. You can take a guess to what the other 5 are.
Let's see.
That's a really cool
Gnomish,
monster.
Draconic.
Ooblexes are super fun.
I've never run into that before.
Oh,
like, in a
okay,
game.
yeah. So there's large, there's
mean-
adult one, there's elder ones, adult ones, and minor one. I think they're called just normal ones. And and this one is an elder one.
Not
That's
only
a
that,
really
but
fun
it would be
monster.
really cool to make this a monster that's like a PC race, so that you could like. You
Ooh.
started out as an unsentient ooze, sentient ooze, and then you absorb somebody, and now you're like, I look like an elf, and I know how to speak all of these languages. I'm
Started
gonna
from
go
the
on
hive mind, now
adventures.
we're here.
Okay,
Started-
so do you
This is
guys
like-
want to? Okay, so do you guys want to hide in the circle area, right? Like climb up onto the walls, and then I will
Yeah, how do we
from
get
the
out properly?
tunnel, like 60, 70 feet away, start making noise so it like has to come out, and then you guys will be behind it. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because the issue with like surrounding it with flames and blah 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 is like you have to get it out of the tunnel for that to be like an effective strategy. So if I hang out 70 feet away from it,
I mean, if we
And-
just want something that'll make a noise to draw it out from the tunnel, either we personally can do that, or I have a way to do that that doesn't put any of us, our bodies, in harm's way
Okay.
right now, to get it to come out.
right. I just think that we need to keep it distracted, and I'm not
I got
sure
you.
if like I can't. I know. I'm not sure if a cantrip is gonna like keep it focused, but
Maybe,
Okay.
maybe not the cantrip, but in working with things, one of the fusion, I have those gears that I always have that
Yep.
do all this little silly things. I can that making a sound thing, that's something that I can do to anything. So if you just
Okay.
want to have these and throw them as you run around to make it chase the things if it gets too close to you, to like protect yourself, I'm gonna give you.
or
like,
we can also just leave them.
yeah, drop them or
making
do
that
whatever.
sound-
But you have
right.
three. But
Okay.
you have three of them.
Can you turn it off and on? Like, can you like be like now turn on, or will they just like constantly make the sound once it's?
They don't make it. They don't do anything until they hit the ground when you throw them.
Okay,
You
cool.
have to
So
make contact with something to make the
Okay,
noise.
so let's. So it probably has like tremor sense. Anyway, sorry, no, that's out of character knowledge. Or blind sense. I don't know if they
but I
have
would
tremor
have told
sense.
you guys. Lenobi would have told you guys that it responded to sound and explained what
Right.
happened to Mercutio, and
Right.
explained that it followed the noises of the echoes as well as
Right.
going straight from Mercutio.
So if
that's why I
we,
said
because we have, how is everybody at sneaking?
we have passed without a trace, that doesn't really matter.
Well, no, look, it does matter because 10 plus 10 is not enough for someone who rolls a 1. You know what I'm saying?
I have a -1 to stealth right now.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Yeah, I'll be 0 at that point.
Yeah. So
But
we can,
yeah.
because I don't want to belabor the point. We've already spent way too much time on this plan.
Let's
But
just see if it works or not works. I'm excited either way, honestly.
okay, right. No, we're going. Sorry, I was changing plans midway because we found out that our old plan wouldn't work, but that's out of character. So we don't know that any of that's not going to work. So first plan, okay, cool. And I have the noisemakers. Gotcha.
Remember, you have 3.
Okay.
So with that means the 3 of us got some stealth in the roll because you're gonna start going up, and Fox is gonna head up, and you have the noisemakers, so you can draw
Get
it
in
out.
position. And Fox pulls out the clay flask.
And just before you
Not much.
decide to
away
execute
again.
your plan, we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, a legit fears.
I was like, holy crap.
What have we done now?
The ooze's mate comes up from the other side of the tunnel.
I see how this
You,
plan
the
would
DM
work, but I
said.
just don't
Yeah.
think you should do that last part.
It extends 500 tentacles.
There's not only 100, it's about 1 trillion tentacles. I don't know if you can count that high, Bart, but
With
there's a
tentacles
lot of
on
them.
the tentacles. It's like the little baby hands that you.
Yep.
No,
Yep.
no. Why would you say that?
And
Anyway,
it keeps. And they,
Complex sandwich.
yeah.
so we're going to go and take a quick break and we'll be right back. Please, I can't wait to see this plan happen because
It's gonna
Yeah.
fail so well. I love it. Bart's is excited.
We're failing upwards. It's fine.
I love that you're
Oh.
trying to plan though. It's cute.
Scaling upwards.
It's cute.
We've grown
Alright,
so
nice.
much. We've grown so
Yeah.
much.
You know, look,
So break time now, players. Let's go catch our breath and go toilet, and then we'll come right back and execute this plan.
Ugh.
Bye.
flawless.
Hello, everybody. We are back. You have to forgive us for this really long break because usually there's like a chat that will be chatting away. We're like, oh yes, we're actually got people that are waiting for us, but obviously we're not streaming today because it is Blackout Wednesday in solidarity with all the stuff that is going on today. So it's just going straight onto our YouTube. That said, it's important to note that while we love everything D&D, we are not affiliated, sponsored, or specifically approved by Wizards of the Coast LLC. That said, you know who we are, sponsored by VZ3D Works, who make beautiful Fate End dice towers, one which I haven't bought yet, but I certainly will as soon as they release the Paladin one, or the Elf one, or the Drow one. I'll just wait. Whatever one comes first, I'll be buying that. There is a really nice wizard rainbow tower right now, which I really need to have in my life because it's absolutely gorgeous. But also they do these wonderful mythic mugs, which I have painted. You may have seen it on the Sunday Shenanigans stream. And the reason why these we recommend VZ3D to you is because you can literally just buy it, have it shipped, and paint it with a bit of priming. I always recommend priming when using acrylic paints because it just helps the paint adhere to the plastic. So, just before the break, the party made a very elaborate plan to deal with an ubelex. We have described it 3 different times. We'll probably settle one towards the end, but it doesn't matter. So, as far as the DM is aware, we have Dorothea on standby with Molotovs. We have Fawkes on climb to rain on me oil down on this ublex. And then we have Lenobi ready for oiling around, and then Bart to lure it out and spark fist it, which sounds very unfortunate, but that's totally what's happening.
I also want to point out that when Fox drops the oil, if any of it gets on Bart, it's going to turn into flash dance up in here. Just letting you know, everybody. Okay. Oh, is that too old of a reference? I don't know.
I just found out my iPad's fixed.
Okay, so
right. Fawkes.
Okay.
Fawkes pulls out the flask of oil and places it gently on the ground. And he's like, I never like how this feels. And drops down onto his hands and knees and then just starts to grow in both directions. And his snoot just goes forward and his tail goes out back and he wild shapes into a giant lizard.
Okay.
And then grabs the flask in his jaws and up the wall.
I need you to roll me a stealth check.
Mm-hmm. Let's see here.
What's your climb speed? 30?
30, yeah.
Okay.
I get 23.
Okay. You've done this form before. You're quiet. I need to ask you, and this is something I want to clarify for every player. I want you to clarify to me how close you are getting to this creature. I have mapped out the room, and I can tell you from the entrance to where the creature is, it's 100 foot across, just as the bird flies. And obviously the dome is about 80 foot tall, including dome. Okay? So I need you to be aware on your distance and how far away you're staying away from that creature.
Mm-hmm.
So climb up.
I mean, that's the thing with Bart is he can only see 30 feet, so it's guesswork.
Mm-hmm.
That's there for him. So yeah. Which is why everyone's like, don't run up to it and punch it. And I'm like, I don't think you understand how it works for Bart. But yeah.
So Fawkes, how far up are you going up?
So I'm going to go up to the actual, to the top and then loop over, and then I'll be, let's say, 20 feet above where the elf lure is?
Fox. At around the 60-foot mark away from it, you are quietly skittering away. You are silent. There is not even a crumble of rock into the pool. At the 60-foot mark, you see the elf's head look towards your direction, and the creature comes out of its hole. And I need everyone to roll me initiative.
Oh, crap.
Like, it comes out of its hole all the way or partially?
It comes out of its hole partially for now,
Right,
but we're going to
okay.
roll initiative.
Ooh.
The thing
okay.
that Lenobi couldn't remember is that this creature had blind sense.
Yeah.
And
I don't know.
Mercutio was too, as he was flying up and got to the top, was too far away for it to be detected, but the creature heard the sound.
Brought it out, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Initiative
You
25.
want to put the initiative in chat or just say it?
Just say it.
Okay.
So Bart got a nice 25.
That's why you have a +7 on initiative.
Well,
Anyone
somebody
got
had to get
higher
up
than
there.
25? Should really roll for it. No, it definitely did not get a 25. Okay.
I got a 17.
A 17. Anyone get higher than 17? No?
Second. Awesome.
Fox? Dorothea, what did you get?
A 12.
Fox, did you get higher than a 12?
Nope.
Well, Fox, not your day.
Wizard BB, no.
Come on, lizard.
Concentrating on not dropping the flask.
Fox, what did you get?
7.
Ooh.
Oh.
Would you roll a 1?
5 as only +2.
Oh, you have only a +2. Okay.
On yeah, so no, I rolled a 6.
Let me just double check its initiative.
I got a +1 as the lizard.
6. Oh.
Ooh.
So you've seen this creature come out partly from its hole. That same gooey spider coming around the edges, pushing it forward. It's about 10 foot outside of its hole. It is looking at Forks. But top of the round, what would you like to do?
So Bart immediately sees that the plan isn't going to work as constructed, and is like, okay, fine, I know what to do. Can't see this thing yet. And so runs into the like entryway of where we are, so that the pool is facing them, and starts stomping and like making as much noise as he possibly can. And I'm gonna hold my action until after the creature goes, if that's okay.
Yeah, you certainly
I
can.
mean, yeah.
What,
I mean,
can you tell me what your action you are holding is?
yeah, it's just gonna be punchy punch.
Okay,
So
cool.
I'm trying to.
So if it
I'm
gets
making
close
sound.
enough, yeah, okay.
Exactly.
So if it gets close enough, you're gonna punch it. Cool.
Yeah, or if
No.
it drags me closer to it,
Okay,
then I
Lenobi.
will punch it. Yeah.
Lenobi. What would you like to do?
Okay. So it is out now.
10
Partially.
foot out of its hole.
10 foot out of its hole. So,
I would say 1/3 of, I think, huge creatures, 1/3? About that.
Okay. So we need it to come the rest of the way out, don't we?
I mean, for your plan that has already sort of failed to work, yes. I'm not. That's not a dig on your plan. I'm just saying.
No.
We didn't know that it had blind sense, so that's.
I know. I'm trying to. I mean,
They
don't know that. I gotta stop trying to fix my plans as we're doing it with the knowledge now. I'm trying to just go ahead for it. So Lenobi's gonna go forward, like they were saying, and
sneak around it. I'm gonna
Yeah,
try and
no.
draw. I'm still gonna try and draw it out. So the sneaking around it might be a good plan. Just like stealth around the corner.
So,
Bart
yeah,
is being obnoxious on purpose, like banging things and like trying to make
yeah,
noise.
I mean, I gave you noisemakers. Yeah, you
Yeah.
do that thing. But yeah, Lenobi's gonna start stealthing kind of like the opposite way of the sound, so they can start doing.
So
you know,
I'm gonna
playing with-
say in my head, Bart goes left, Lonobi goes right. Yeah.
right.
Okay. And you just move your 30 foot, or you dashing?
I
Dashing.
am. Yeah, I'm dashing.
Slither.
Yeah.
Slither
So
little
you-
snake.
So you move. So
I'm gonna be a sneaky snake.
so just for clarification, you are moving 60 foot of your total movement to be 40 foot near it. Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to do for your turn?
Other than be doing the my movement, I guess, and my action, I guess, is going to be kind of doing that mopping motion, so I can make sure the crease is on the ground.
Sure.
Okay.
Line sense means it sees all of us anyway, but
Dorothea.
But we don't know that.
I know.
Oh, cool. Just making sure you heard me.
Yeah, I was thinking about the battle map. Yeah, I mean, all I've got is the firecracker things. So I'm gonna and the elf is connected to these oozes, correct?
It's kind of like made of, so like imagine a jelly,
Mhm.
and it's just like normal jelly shaped.
Yeah.
And then it looks like someone put a mold at the top of it, and it's an
Okay.
elf mold, but it starts off jelly, and then it's like someone painted it into a person.
Okay, that's gross.
it's like those fish.
That weird
It's like
anglerfish thing where
it's
they're like
anglerfish.
working on a person,
Anglerfish,
but it's
mhm.
connected
Yeah.
to a monster, like that thing.
Yeah.
yo, anglerfish are
Okay.
frightening, but yes.
Right. I'm gonna aim for. I don't really think it's got anything that to do with its power, but I am gonna aim for the connection, like the base connection of where that thing is, the mold is attached. If
Mhm.
that makes sense. I don't think it matters, but for the flavor,
For the flavor, sounds good.
Which is what everything is about, the flavor.
right? The flavor.
Let's go to Flavor Town.
Is that a dexterity check? Am I throwing something?
You
we lose
throw.
Buns?
I
Are
don't
you,
know.
no, Buns is there.
Slingshotting it?
Oh no, Buns may have crashed a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's. Wait, are they?
Oh, it's not even a cute pose either.
I like that. That's how we judge it. We're like,
Aw.
"Mm."
Aw.
It's the plan has failed pose.
Yep. The slump shoulders of Plan Lenobi. 001, I think, is.
Am I back?
Oh, I hear you, but I can't see you.
I can see your.
You're breaking up.
At least the sounds are. Oh,
Oh, you're back.
Okay.
wait.
No.
Oh,
Wait,
there we go.
hey.
Yay!
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Welcome
Keep
back.
making. Yep. Okay. All right. Here we go. Yeah. I'm into it. Let's go.
My lord.
It's this time every time. Okay.
No, this is the last time it happens, though, guys.
Yeah,
This is the
new,
last time it happens.
new computer.
I mean, you say that,
Technology.
but it also deals with the internet connection too. so.
Just hope it's got stronger Wi-Fi powers. That's what I'm
right.
hoping.
Right. Yeah.
Like a newer Wi-Fi thing that you
Yeah.
plug. I don't know what
You
it's
can
called.
also get like a. Anyway.
Yeah.
This isn't part of our battle strategy.
But Dorothea, so you wondering how you throw things?
Yeah, I don't know what I rolled.
So it's a D20
D20.
plus your dex.
Yeah.
Are you proficient in throwing things?
No.
Then
no.
you don't add your proficiency. It's just your dex
Okay.
and a
I mean,
D20.
Okay.
Technically, to be
That's
fair,
not
it's
bad.
also
That's not
it's also
bad.
an improvised weapon, which would give it.
I don't bother with
improv.
improv. I don't.
Okay,
I don't.
all right.
I don't do improvised weapon rules
Even
because
with
they're
a
dumb.
-1, I rolled a 16.
You're not fooling anyone. You just want my yogurt.
Dorothea, you throw. So I imagine it's lit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You throw this little ball of oil. You're aiming for this connection. and you put it in your slingshot, and for a moment, it looks like it's going a little bit too far, but then somehow you've managed to put a little bit of curl on it because the direction changes as it spins, and instead of looking like it's going too far, it then changes the spin and then goes down, and you hit this connection at the last minute, and it lets out a little spark. Roll me 2d6 plus.
Y'all can just call me the Big Bambino.
3, please.
I mean, I was gonna say you put a little English on that.
Is that the saying? That's obviously not a saying that we say here.
It's like it's like a golf term that means that you've rotated the ball so that it like spins backwards.
It's a 9.
Okay. Oh my god, did
Not
I
bad.
just...
Higher than average, which is good.
It's now... Cool, you do 9 points of fire damage to it. And you kind of see, like, this high-pitched screechy noise, which I won't imitate because you're all wearing headphones, except for
you.
Buns. And it kind of, like, draws out like it's spiky. You know when Flubber gets freaked out by highlight?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's kind of do. It doesn't break the connection, though.
Okay. Spooky.
Anything else for your turn?
I don't really have any bonus actions. Nah, that's it for me.
Fox.
Mm-hmm. So when it started coming out, when I was 60 feet away, wasn't I?
Yes.
And I stopped that distance as it came out.
Well,
Right?
it's when
Before we went
initiative
into-
was when
into things, right,
initiative
yeah.
was initiated.
So I guess I'm still kind of on the dome part, aren't I? Because I have to go down. It's like 50 feet of vertical, isn't there?
No, you're about 40 feet away. So it's 100 foot away. I've just made it 100 foot, no matter how the bird flies. So
Okay.
I would say you're just 40 foot away from it.
Oh, okay. Then I will use my movement to continue down the wall towards it, and so I've been knowing ever since I decided to do this. Like, what the best way to get this flask? Because
Crush it in your jaws on the.
Because it's like a jelly thing. So yeah, I don't think if dropping it won't make it. It won't smash. It would just like go bloop,
Right.
just like
You
sit on
gotta-
top of it.
Yeah, you gotta like puncture it with your lizard jaws and then make it like on the back end of it, so it kind of
Yeah.
so
Do I
it
think?
recoils inside instead of back. Anyway, yeah.
Do I think like if I can hold my position on the wall with 3 of my legs, if I like used one
I would
claw
totally
to like,
allow that. Yes.
claw the top off.
Yeah, you can totally do that.
Okay, so I have it in my jaws
Mhm.
and I tilt it so it's neck down, and then just one claw and just go bloop, and, like just take the cap off and just let her go.
Yeah, so you cover the back. I'm going to agree with Rand, the back end. So obviously it's come out. So if you imagine, here's the wall. It's come out a little bit. You're going to get it right there in the nice little join bit. Perfect. Anything else for your turn? I would say that is your action.
Yes. Yeah, I would. I'd use the rest of my movements to go sideways, so that if for some reason I get knocked off the wall, I'll fall down onto the walkway, not onto it.
Thank you.
You don't have a fire cantrip that's like a bonus.
Not
action?
as a lizard.
Not in Wild Shape, no.
Not
you
at this
can't-
level. Yeah, not at
Oh,
this
okay,
level.
all right. I was like, wait, can't you cast spells? But I guess that's level 6 or something.
I would permit a sorcerer druid mix to use meta magic to do it because
Right,
that's
right.
cool.
Yes.
But
My fire sprite, the wildfire sprite, can I summon that?
does it require any verbal or material components to summon?
No. You just manifest it.
Then yeah, I would totally allow that.
Okay, cool. Because but I think that's an action. Double check. I think it's an action.
Yeah, do check. Excuse me. This is the time when I start yawning.
Ah, yes. Every
God, where's-
battle that a GM has to pay attention to is the yawn time. You're like, yeah, have you decided what to do yet? Oh, okay.
Where are you, wildfire druids of?
Wildfire druid, wildfire druid.
Sorry, it's been so long.
It's okay. Take your time.
Bear with.
Not my king. Not my king.
Wildfire druids aren't? Oh, okay. All right. I see. That's fine.
Damn it!
No.
But is it? But is it Death's kink? That's the question.
Yeah, that's the real question.
Not that skin. Not that skin.
Uh-oh.
Thanks, Adelaide, for that. I now have that proper stuck in my head.
You could thank Buns for that. That was our Christmas dinner the entire time.
Of course, it's
Just
buns.
nonstop.
I know, right? I was like, oh dang it, they snitched.
It's technically it's an action. It says you can summon a primal spirit as an action. You can
Okay,
expend
cool.
one of your wild shape.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
I just found it funny.
You can't
Oh, I'm
do
sorry. I just
No.
googled it.
Oh,
My-
thank
my
you.
bad.
Yeah, you faster. That's good. Thank you.
that. Okay, then that's all for your turn. yeah?
Yes, this time around.
Okay, it's the Obelix's turn, and fun little fact: it's a version of fire makes it disadvantaged. So I've got 2 nice giant dice here, but it is going to strike out at you with a multi-attack.
You said you, which is a lot of us.
Yeah, Fuchs. Fuchs. Give me
Oh,
a
okay,
second.
alright.
Ah,
Sorry.
Everyone, you had you, and everyone went.
Oh,
Wow.
that you.
These dice like me. A 17 and an 18 plus an additional 7 makes it a lot. That was with disadvantage, and then again 7, 14. So you had a 20 something and a 14.
They both hit.
Okay.
Your
Um,
AC is terrible.
But it's natural. It's all natural armor.
Oh, right. It's the lizard, which is like 12 max usually.
It is 12, yeah.
12, 14. You take 14 points of bludgeoning damage plus 7 points of psychic damage. Plus, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay.
I don't have enough d10s.
That is just an 11.
Okay. You take 27 points of psychic damage. And
Oh.
you are now memory drained. What memory drained means is that I need you to roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from any ability checks or attack roll you make in the future. And if you get attacked by more memory drains, that d4 becomes a d6, d8, so on and so forth until it's a d20.
I roll the d4 each time.
No, d4 this
Just
time.
once.
If it attacks you again, it'll be a d6. If it doesn't attack you again, it will be just a d4.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I roll the d4 now and then keep that number for
And
every
keep that
subtraction.
For now.
Okay, so here we go. 4.
Oh, come on.
Oh, it's like that anti basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Except it stacks, which let's get blessed at stacks, people.
So that's it for its turn. That's all it can do.
I
Interesting.
I'm a cobalt falling towards the walkway.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
you
20
shot back down,
20
you're not
points of
lizard.
damage is going to definitely kick the shit out of a
21,
lizard.
21 knocks me out, and then
Yeah.
so I got two points of damage into my real self from that, and then the 27.
Well, doesn't the
Feel bad.
no? That's not how that works. Doesn't the wild shape soak up all of the damage?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it goes over into your real form.
No.
If
It doesn't. Sorry, I don't rule like that way. It just soaks it up, and then you're in your real form, and then you take whatever's additional. That's how I do it.
You don't take the full thing. I've always played it.
You never
go
take the
until
full thing.
HP of your wild shape is gone, and then whatever's left over is what you take.
No.
Yeah.
So one attack. If one attack takes your wild form down to 0, you revert back.
Yeah.
But that's it. Because it's a really good way for druids to insta heal. It's a really good way, and then you're at max HP, and then it took a second attack, and then you deduct that from your own one. Yeah.
Okay, so you only take the second attack from your HP.
Yeah. So are you still standing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you're not. Okay. So you've been knocked out, but you are falling.
Yeah, but so the memory drain damage was onto Forks,
Yes.
right? The bludgeoning damage knocked me out of wild shape, and then the memory drain was on Forks.
So eat memories
Yes.
was on the first attack. So the psychic damage would have been on the lizard, but you still had your memories eaten, because obviously your memories is the lizard's memories. And then the second attack was on Forks. If it knocked you, if the eat memory damage and the first one took all your lizard, then the second amount of damage. We good? Were you on the same page?
What was the bludgeoning on the second attack?
I kind of added them together.
that's what I was doing.
I'll just half it. It was 27, 10, round down, 13.
Okay.
It's a little bit better. Yeah, everybody, don't look so down. This thing hits like a truck. Who cares? Woo!
And then how I was 30 feet up,
Which would be 3d6.
so 3d6. Yeah.
When you hit the ground, it's not yet.
Okay.
It all happens in 6. We gotta make sure.
Yeah.
It's all at the same
Free
time.
So, but
Yeah.
Top of the round.
Okay, top of the round. Bart sees this thing like whip people in the face, and he sort of like rolls his shoulders forward and sinks into like a boxing form. And I'm going to use one of my abilities, which as a bonus action, I gain resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage for 1 minute.
nice.
And then at the end of that minute, I gain exhaustion. So I'm going to be fucking tired after this. But like, I get back into like a fighter pose, and then I'm just going to walk up to it, catch my fists on fire, and then just punch it a couple times.
Please do.
Because I am 5th level, I get to punch twice, and I use my bonus action, so I can't use it to use a moxie point to like hit again. But that is something that I will probably do. Okay, does a 12 hit?
It does not.
Okay. And then my second attack, natural 20. Cool.
Roll me that juicy crit damage, and then the fire damage, I will just make 2d6 plus 3.
And do I need to take any HP damage from having my fists on fire? I feel like I should probably take like a d6 or something.
I would say whatever fire damage you do to it, you take half.
Okay. Sorry, remind me with crits, is it just double the dice? Or are we...
So some people roll double the dice. Some people who don't want to roll that many dice just take the final amount and double it. I don't mind.
Okay.
Whatever way you want to do it.
Okay. So 16 damage. And then how much fire damage is this going to do? I don't know what.
2d6 plus 3.
Okay.
I've just set that as like the standard for the improvised weapons.
Gotcha. It takes 6 points of fire damage. Man, I rolled a 1 and a 2. That's good. I like those numbers, everybody. 1s and 2s, good damage. So it takes 16 magic bludgeoning damage, and then it takes 6 fire damage, and I take 3
Mm-hmm.
HP damage. Okay. and that's
Sorry,
my-
how much bludgeoning did it take?
It took 16.
16. 4, 13, 28. Cool.
All right. And I took 3. I just want to make sure that I'm counting this right so that I. Anyway. Okay. That's my turn.
Lenobi.
Okay. I do this every time. I have a plan, and then it's like, okay, it's your turn, and then it just goes.
Big
So
mood.
You're on the spot. Make a decision or the whole crew dies. It's all on you. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's not.
that was my excited face. All right, guys. All right. So my other phone died. I had all my spells on. How close? Yeah, I want to know how far away I am from
40 foot.
any 40.
From you're 40 feet away from the 40 feet. You're 40 feet You're
Okay,
40
so
foot
40
away
feet
from
away.
you. Yeah.
I can speak toddler. So you said 40 foot away. Sounded like my niece for a second. I would like to. Would you say that they are currently being distracted by the fact that there is a giant plant person wearing a llama face that is attacking them?
Yes, I would say that you definitely feel like that.
Slight distraction there.
Yeah.
I hope the
And
llama
their
doesn't
back just
catch on
ignited.
fire. That's all. I
Right,
just
and their
wanna-
bag just ignited. I would like to flank them, and I can make 2 attacks in 1 turn. And
Mhm.
my first one will be, oh, actually, just both of them. If I can get as close as I can, and then poison spray.
Okay.
As a wand T, I can cast it at will. I can, it's just something I can do.
They're immune to poison. They're immune to poison.
I can't take poison damage, but I sure can spew it, and I can
No,
take 2
the
attacks.
the
I would
ooze
like
is
both of them to
the
be-
No.
ooze is immune. Haven't you fought these before? Don't you know that?
You said what?
Anyway.
This is, first of all, it is a
Nothing.
huge ooze, but it's an oblex. I did read
Okay.
out earlier its immunities. Poison wasn't one
know.
of them.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Yes, sucker.
Oh, okay. Never mind. All right, my B. I was just going.
I'm
off
looking
of
at the stat
oozes
block
in
right now.
general.
But yeah, please do. Do I need to roll anything or do anything or?
I don't. I mean, I think you take poison damage. I have to roll to see if I hit you, but after
Okay.
that, it's just
Okay, hit me.
poison damage.
Hit me with your rhythm stick. Hit me. Hit me.
Not my
Everything is
kink.
in a song. And I
Not
love
my
it.
kink. No.
Let's have some fun. This beat is sick. I want to poison you.
With my poison stick.
With my poison stick, also called my tongue. But I That's a 22 hit. We're gonna change the subject.
Yes, it does.
Can I roll my second attack now?
Yes, you can. Are you gonna give me some poison damage? Are you gonna do that later?
Yeah, I'm going to do the poison damage. I want to make sure both attacks hit.
Okay,
both
cool.
are going to be poison spray. The other one +3. Well, that was a 21.
Uh-huh.
All right, so both hit, and then poison damage. Need you and a you.
I like that song.
2d8.
Hit me with your rhythm stick.
With your little.
Me.
How
It's
is
keep
that
watching the
sad?
animated Harley
The
Quinn, and
blockets?
they keep saying riddle stick, and it's the best.
Who sings that
Good bad.
song?
It's Ian Jury and the Blockets, I think.
There we go.
18 poison damage.
Lenobi, would you say you bite it, or would you say you just spray it, or give me some flavor because I want to describe
Give
some
some flavor?
stuff. Yeah,
Okay, so
it's not gonna have any negative effect to you. I just want some
I
flavor.
got you. So they come up after, especially after seeing Fox fall, they just kind of go like into like feral mode and just like rush over, and then they like get on and go and just like poison spray at it. And
Like
then when they
how a
realize it's
cobra
working, they go,
does.
"It worked!"
Oh
And then
man.
does a bigger one. And does it again.
Okay. So you spray it with this poison, and as I said, it's like this gross, dirty red
It just got
color.
grosser and dirtier.
Your poison lands on it. We'll describe it as green, just because poison in my head is green.
It's green, yeah, a nice apple green, if you will.
Video games.
Coded colors, and then when it kind of settles in the skin, it kind of gets absorbed. And now the red and the green are mixing together, and red and green make brown. It's kind of like dyeing a brown color.
Good. Now I can see where it's been harmed.
Yeah. It makes this noise. It starts to shrink back into its hole. The elf shape is starting to... You remember how I said it's like connected at the bottom and then it becomes a person? It's starting to lose that person bit and it's more becoming slime and it's starting to lose its shape. And it is actually Dorothea's turn.
Yeah, okay, so Fox is unconscious, correct?
Nope, I'm okay.
No, you're okay.
Oh yeah, Fawkes. Fawkes rolled me that 3d6.
Oh
You
yeah.
hit the ground.
Oops.
Hang on, Dorothea. No, I can't, actually, I can't be unconscious even if I get max.
Okay.
Don't say that.
That is 13.
And out of
What?
the three of y'all that I'm looking at, which one of y'all looks the bloodiest?
Me.
Probably Fox.
Right, no.
Okay.
Probably Fox.
None of us.
Who's
None
just
of, I
laying on
mean,
the
it
ground
hasn't
like,
touched
"Hello,
me.
darkness, my old friend."
That's- I am gonna snap my finger and cast a ward on you with my witch hex, and you have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage.
Thank you.
Yes. Until the end of your next turn. Until the end of my next turn. Sorry.
Resistance doesn't stack, does it?
No.
Okay.
And does he already have resistance?
No. I was like, what if that got cast on me when I already had resistance? Would I be double resistant? But
no,
that's
I don't
not
think
how it
so.
works.
And I'm gonna stomp forward about 15 feet. I'm gonna get into the thick of it at least. So a little bit more defensive.
Okay.
And that's me.
Fawkes, you okay?
Yeah.
This thing looks very beat up.
I land
Wink, wink. Yeah.
prone. I land prone, I
You got a
assume.
little something right there.
You
that's going
do.
in your eye. You good?
Yeah. Can I see Bart like rolling up another haymaker, ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. So I landed prone.
Mhm.
And I stay prone, and I'm going to use something I've been wanting to use ever since I decided to be a kobold. And I just like onto the ground, and I just like lift up and I'm like, mighty gelatinous overlord, you have destroyed me. Please have mercy on me and my compatriots. And I'm going to use my grovel, cower, and beg thing to distract it and give my allies advantage on attacks.
Right. Would you say this
Hell
is a
yeah.
charm? Or is it more like a blessing? Does it need a wisdom saving throw? I guess it should be
No,
my
it's,
super.
just,
Okay.
it's automatic.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is it untyped? Really? Holy shit, that's way better than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Nice. That is really good.
Mhm.
Okay, it's the
We should all be
Oblex's
go.
turn.
We're
Is
on
you sure
kobolds
that's
now.
is that all you want to do?
Yeah, because I just wanted to use it.
Okay.
What's my bonus action? I could
Do
Was
something.
gravel and beg an actual action?
It's an action, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm like that fucking spirit sprite thing, but I guess you can't.
No, that's a bonus action, so I could, yes.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna so like, as I'm doing that, my wings kind of like rustle on my back, and the healing spirit goes whoosh out into it. The fiery phoenix form above me, and is just engulfing me in its healing fire for my next turn.
Oh, so you're begging it to. Ooh. this has thrown me a conundrum because it's my turn next, and I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, you definitely have its attention, but oh no, it's fire. Hmm.
Confused and moth.
You know what? For the sake of brevity and for the sake of time, this is what I have decided. Fox, you
Yes.
do your kobold begging.
Mhm.
It is very effective. It doesn't take pity on you, though. It is incapable of that.
Yeah.
It comes out a little more of its cage, kind of swells up as if it's going to completely engulf you. And then obviously your phoenix comes out, your wings spread, the phoenix wings, fire spread, and it engulfs you in this circular sphere. And it's kind of like at the same time it lunges that this happens. So it lunges for you. And your fire catches that oil on fire. And because it only had 10 hit points, I'm going to say that the damage of that fire was enough. There is this awful, horrible screeching scream. As this thing is on fire, you see the elf shape that was starting to, it was just like a head shape now with arms. The arms are too long, the torso is too short, the leg bits are too tall. It starts to just completely dissolve. Kind of like when you set fire to wax. It just melts. Oh, Buns! We lost Buns.
Oh no!
She's melting.
One moment. Let me just do my usual Zoom thing. If it's not Adelaide, it's Buns. So, okay, Buns getting a new computer today. How do I join this meeting? Discord.
It's a good question. How do you join meetings?
I don't know. I'm always setting them up, so I've never had to join a Zoom meeting. I don't actually know what happens. Oh, Buns is back, but everyone's in the wrong place. Oh well. Welcome back. So it starts to melt like wax, and like you see the skulls, and it kind of like melts into the water, adding this horrible brownness to this horrible murky kind of like pond water. And as the fight ends and you're out of initiative, you just kind of see this skull roll forward, bobs into the water along with the other slime and ooze. There's just a little Mercutio hanging onto it. Gross.
Perfect.
What would you like to do, party?
So, just as a reminder to everybody, now that the fight's over, I have a level of exhaustion, so I have a disadvantage on ability checks now.
Okay.
I don't use that until I think we're fighting a boss, and I thought we were fighting a boss, and I was wrong, so I wasted that.
Well,
That's fine. That's just one sec. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna,
This
you know
is
what? I'm
boss
gonna grab
lady.
the skull, and this is a nice skull. It shouldn't go to waste. I'm gonna put it in my bag. But I'm
The
also
Crucio's still
who's there,
attached
like,
to it.
well,
It's mine now.
I'm gonna get out my portable teapot. Now it's gonna be probably pretty cold. But you should have a sip of this, and I'm gonna do my tea ceremony, which will remove your exhaustion point.
hey.
T-Witch, Peter, T-Witch.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
It's oolong.
Ooh, oolong. All right.
Oolong.
All right. Okay, never mind. I will delete that. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
So pours it on the llama's head because Bart doesn't know how to drink. It drips off into the roots and gets absorbed into his skin. He's like, I feel more refreshed than I have in a long time. How bizarre.
Well, that's magic for you. And Granny's touch, you know.
It's oolong with whiskey in it.
Scotch.
Sorry.
She's a Scotch girl.
Oh, yeah. Oh, but oolong with scotch would mixing those together.
We had to talk about this. Scotches only mix well with rooibos and mate teas. Do not no oolong.
I'm just saying, if we're gonna start talking about scotch, you don't ever mix it with anything. Okay, let's
No,
move
'cause
on.
This group is not allowed to talk about liquids on stream. We always argue.
You guys want to fight me?
Yeah.
Let's
The
do
war
it.
of the tea.
Meanwhile, the camera pans around to where there's this phoenix, and Forks is just dancing in the fire. It's just like for 30 seconds, and I get 5d6, 5d6 hit
Yep.
points back.
To the window,
I just want to say, healing
to the
totems
wall.
are broken AF for healing. They're
At least
fantastic, but
it's only 1 plus your modifier times it can heal.
Hmm.
oh, it is.
It only works.
I
5
thought you
times.
could just like walk in and out of it
No,
constantly and
There
be
is a-
like,
there is a
"What's
limit
up?
on it.
What's up? What's up?" Oh, okay. All right, never mind. It's not as good as I thought it was. I hate it now.
Okay, so that's 19 hit points back.
Ooh.
All right.
Nice.
Now I
Bart's
definitely
like-
wanted to be to the window, to the wall that you were dancing to around the fire.
The window to the wall.
I'm
The sweat
disappointed I
drip
didn't
down
get
my
a-
balls. Down ski ski.
Welcome to Wednesday, viewers.
Yeah,
I know, wait.
Down ski
I am.
This isn't as weird as it gets.
Not even close. I'm also disappointed that Bart didn't get a flash dance in oil, but that's fine. We'll move on.
We would like everyone to know that Fox is the most wholesome member of Scones and Spears.
Yeah. Also, John is
Also,
the,
John.
and John is also the most
He's
wholesome
also
member
the
of
most
this group.
wholesome out of all of us.
Because we, behind the screens on pause and before breaks, we're off on a weird tangent, and
All the
John
time.
just sits there. God
He
knows what
just
John really
listens.
thinks of us.
Bless
John
you,
comes
John,
back at-
for
John
being
comes-
so patient.
I know, John comes back every week, so I guess you don't hate it?
We always say get on
Not
our
at
level, and then he sits down on the ground and goes, "Here I am." On your
Yeah, it
level."
just depends. It depends on. It's the balance of like hating it or finding a new group to play D&D with. You know what I mean? Like it's
Oh,
that constant
no.
balance.
What you all don't know is actually all the weird, freaky Japanese stuff that's going up in here, and you're just like, oh, children, children.
You're so
Oh, no.
young and
Are
innocent
we
with
the
all.
wholesome ones?
All right. So Bart not being exhausted. Sorry, I don't mean to be the one that drags us back in because usually I will tangent us away.
We're on a mission.
Yeah, no,
Right. We gotta go. And so
Focus.
Bart's like, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know if that was one of the ghosts. Like maybe they counted that as the white lady. I don't know. It wasn't really white. It was kind of gross. Mercutio in the
Echoey.
background. Gross. But let's keep moving. It was definitely blocking something, and it looked like it ate an elf, at least from what you guys told me about it, because I wasn't paying attention myself. You just told me. So let's go. Let's move forward and see what else we can find.
I'd like to gather those noisemakers.
You certainly can.
Oh, I haven't even put them on, so I'm just gonna like
Oh,
I'm
okay,
like
I
holding
thought
them
you-
in my hand. No, I didn't use them. No. I was
Fine.
making noise like hitting things and being like, "Ah!" That's the sound Bart makes. "Ah!"
Oh, we
I'm
lost
fine
that
by
leg.
I'm fine by the way.
Oh,
I'm sorry, you had to see it. You had to
Yeah.
see it.
I just saw the leg on the edge of shot. I was like, what does the rest of that look like?
Dorothea, now played.
Yep. Now played by
An improvement. I'm sorry, I gotta take a screenshot.
Top dog.
I'm putting that in our
I'm
chat right now. That is not a disappointment.
That's spectacular.
So good.
I've never been more excited about seeing a dog on stream before than right now.
There we go, Dorothea. That is for you.
It's just not even moving. It was like,
I don't know if I can.
mother, why? Why would you do this to me? Mother.
How dare you?
Oh my
How
lord.
dare you? What's going on? I don't even care. I'm just so
That chair
comfortable.
looks comfy though.
I know, that's what I was
Not,
thinking. I was
it's
like,
really
yo,
not.
it
Okay.
isn't? Oh.
So you continue down the path. It's just a straight one.
Okay.
The Ublex defeated. And you begin to hear a very harsh feminine voice. I say harsh, it's hoarse. That's why I wanted to say it came out harsh. I wanted to say hoarse. Whispering that same lullaby that we all learned many sessions ago, but because
we
it's
have memorized
been
it.
None of us know the words too.
that we have
We
all
all-
forgotten the words too
We
in
have
real life.
piecemealed it all together.
I've
Don't
got the
worry.
final line. I've only got the final line.
Okay, well,
Beg mercy for me, for I have no mercy to give.
there we go. And it
Like
repeats
forgiveness, beg. Yep.
over and over. This voice breaking, cracking, dying out, words missing, as if this voice has been talking for a long, long time. And you follow the voice. And even though it's fading, it gets louder and you know you're close. And you come to a room. And you see a dirty, disheveled, thin, dehydrated. Her lips are chapped and cracked. You saw her in the paintings. You know what she looks like. Clarice Coachwell. And she's kneeling upon this stone. This stone has dried sticky blood on it. You see that her tattered trousers are ripped. And as she finishes the next cycle of the prayer, you see her bend, bow, sit back up. You see her knees move on this rock. You see a new pooling of blood. And it starts again. And in front of her, where she is bowing and praying, you see a skeleton. Long aged, long rotted, slumped against a wall, holding the tatters of an old book.
Clarice Coachwell. We of Spirit and Scones are here to rescue you from whatever you found yourself messed up with it. And like Bart starts walking towards her. It's like, we need some water, it looks like, and some healing over here immediately.
You have the water skin, remember?
I thought it was full of oil now.
No, we never did that.
Oh,
You
yeah, 'cause I
have
got the
Oh, we
flask,
never
so
did
it's
that?
okay.
Okay, all right. Well, anyway, then Bart like reaches into their weird plant body because they don't have a backpack. They just hold everything in their roots. Who cares? I have no internal organs.
I like your blight. Thanks, it has pockets.
Yeah, exactly. And I take a water skin and I start walking towards her, and I'm like,
Yeah, I'm going to be
healing.
back up for Bart. He's walking forward. Lenobi is next to him, kind of tinkering on something that can do a quick heal thing that they can wear, maybe. They need a nap.
yeah. And Bart's like, better. And as he's walking up to, he's like, Carice, better to focus on the llama when you first see me. Don't look at anything else, just the llama. And the llama makes like a smiley face, and its eyebrows like go, ah.
It's not a woo face?
Yeah, exactly. It's woo face.
Woo face, okay. So you address Clarice, who's doing this ritual prayer. And she bends down, she comes up, and she just kind of looks at you. Her mouth doesn't stop. And she only looks at you for a brief second. You see her like, confusion flicker across her features. But she turns back to the skeleton and repeats it. How close do you get?
I mean, I'm walking straight up to her side and like trying to give her water.
And I'm going to the skeleton for that book.
As he pulls away, as he pulls away from us, I'll just like touch his back, and I was like, Bartholomew, be careful, and I'll cast guidance on him.
Oh,
cool. When you get 5 foot away, Bart, I need you to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh,
Plus
okay.
4, plus a d4.
Yeah,
Wait,
hell.
Oh no, saving throw.
Sorry.
Yeah, saving throw doesn't count, right?
No, ability checks.
All right, that's cool. No big deal. My dexterity is awful.
I also
Natural
roll?
1, baby. That's a 3, everybody. Let's do it.
But how would you describe a critical as you kind of hit a force field and you are pushed back?
Yeah, I mean, I think headstrong Bart like leads with their forehead, and they don't even think there's anything like, force fields. What are those? And he just like smashes the front of his like plant face into it, and you see like comically the llama has turned its face sideways and hits it, and it's like and it looks squished, cartoon squish. So it all of a sudden has lips, and they like purse on one side, and they're like they're up against glass. And Bart, like his face just like plants like crumble off of it. He's just like roots fall off, and he's like, oh, what the pain.
Doesn't do any damage, it just pushes you away.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we got some sort of magic portal force field here.
Lenobi, you managed to get to the skeleton just fine. There is no force field here.
What happened when I touched this book? No, I mean I'm touching it. What happened when I touched this book?
Do you say, Mummy, I'm touching it?
No, I was like,
Wow.
what happens when I touch this?
I think it was
Not my kink,
Yeah, I heard Mummy. I was like, what? My brain's in a different place today. Nothing happened.
Ooh, then mine.
But it's very delicate and very old. It's very... I don't know if you've ever been in one of those like abandoned houses and then you found an old book and then you get a pet book where it's been like rained on and dried and rained on and dried. It's very brittle.
And you're afraid if you open it, it'll like crumble into dust. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay, so I either have a really nice book or a trapper keeper here. But I turn
Before
I
you
guess,
could do
and
anything,
realize that Bart
Dorothea
is
jams it into her bag.
interacting with what seems to be a force field around Maurice now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Bart is definitely punching it, right? He's like, donk.
If you're doing that, every time you do, you're gonna have to roll a dexterity saving throw.
I mean, that's absolutely what he's doing. Wow.
How many dexterity saving throws
19.
are you rolling before I act?
Okay, so the first one pushes you back a little bit more violently this time. The second one, you steady yourself. It doesn't push you back as far.
But I'm not able to like move through it, or like my
No.
fist doesn't pass. Okay. So yeah, the second one, like his arm ratchets backwards in a way that no human's like shoulder would be able to, and so he like pops it back into place, even though it doesn't have joints, so it just crumbling sticks. And then he punches it again. He's like, I don't think I can help with my magic. I think somebody else has to help me here.
Maybe.
I'm gonna try to interact with it then to see if it does the same thing happen to me. That was a nice base experiment. Does it happen when other people do it? I just have the book in one hand. I'm like,
I have
roll me a dexterity saving throw when you get 5 foot away.
gotcha.
DC is 16, by the way.
Nice. It's a 1, isn't it? You rolled a 1 too.
That looks like a 1.
Yeah. Lenobi, what does a critical 1 look like when you're pushed back?
All right. So, what exactly happens when it was hitting Bart? Something came out and pushed him.
No. It's just kind of like a magical, like like a blast or
after
a gust of
watching that
wind.
happen a few times, they were like, "So does it just not like you?" And then goes to touch it. When they do, it basically just goes. They just like fly.
And
then they're back over there. They kind of skid across the ground, and they just like, and then they like land right in front of Dorothea, and they're like, "I don't think it likes us."
We've used like sticks and things to get snakes out of rice fields here, and kind of I kind of get that image of the yeeted snake. Like,
right, just there, like they touch it, they fly back, skid across the ground, still holding the book, and Dorothea just sees this, like, I don't think it likes us.
maybe an alternative route, and Fox will summon his phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
So his wings bristle, but it's not the healing spirit this time. It's the wildfire spirit sprouts out from the wings, and he's like, "Everyone, gather around, and we can pass beyond the barrier." And if everyone is willing, if we stand immediately around my fire spirit, we can use fiery teleportation.
Ooh.
So hopefully within.
So nobody just grabs onto your leg, ready.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Still on
about
the
to
ground.
like, I don't see how fire is going to help this situation.
He's like, no.
Well,
The phoenix
I'm
can
asking how it
transport
wouldn't
us
help.
inside. Travel through the fire. Beyond the flames.
I
Hell
mean,
yeah.
sure, my fists were on fire earlier. This is fine.
Did you put those out?
Bart looks and they're just still on fire.
Like,
Not yet. I thought maybe there would be like another boss that we had to beat up.
Did you ever put those out? Did I what now?
Yeah.
Did I what?
his armpit.
Yep. Yes, of course I did.
Smoke coming from the backbone.
Yeah.
Why would you ask that?
That's weird.
Llama.
What a weird question.
The llama coughing.
Do
Yeah.
we have to all make a roll of some kind to do that?
Nope, it's okay.
Ooh, okay.
Does it pass through magical barriers?
That's what we're about to find out.
Okay. Are you muted?
Muted.
Never mind. None of that was important. Yes, I agree. It was neither witty nor smart, I guess.
So
My idea?
Oh. You did it.
You did it. You're inside. Woo! It's very cramped in here.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if it's like a
still-
fight, we're like, oh, it's the type. Maybe we should have only had like one person come in with you. Okay.
Did it just kind of blink us? Did it just go boop?
Yeah, like, I imagine like Misty Step.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it just says
I mean,
teleport.
There is like, if you imagine a grid, if you so well. Where is my doodle thing?
I can like flavor it while you're drawing that. I think like the phoenix kind of just like roars up and then just goes into a big smoke cloud, and that smoke envelops us and then billows up in the new spot.
So the X is Clarice, and then it's 5 foot around. So if you imagine a grid, so there's room, but you know you'll all be on top of each other.
Because if that's the case, Lenobi is still laying down on the ground. It was just teleported that way, so they're just like laying down next to Clarice. They're like, so when they go to bow again and like a new pull, they're like, oh, that doesn't look healthy. And can you hear us? I'm like on the ground talking up to her.
And she doesn't break her prayer, but she does nod.
Do you want to stop praying?
She shakes her head.
No or yes?
She shakes her head.
Are you protecting yourself?
She nods.
From the big oobliglaga?
She shakes her head.
I know what it's called.
Have some food and water then, at least. It's like Bart. It's like trying to help.
Yeah.
She shakes her head.
Do you not? Can't ask. I have to ask yes or no question. Do you want to go home?
She nods her head.
Do we have to stop something to get you there?
She nods her head.
Is it the praying?
She shakes her head.
No, there's obviously the prayer is keeping something from being summoned or coming alive.
I'm just
I
covering
feel.
the bases.
Can I investigate the sacrificial stone? That's right next to her, right?
You certainly can. She's kind of like on top of it, kneeling on top of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yes, look around that, please.
Is this book important?
Is that investigation or perception?
Yes, please. She nods her head.
22.
So obviously she's kneeling on it. She's doing her ritual. What you notice in the stone is that they're very ancient, very faint, and this is where the friction is coming from, which is causing her to bleed. Runes, which are chiseled, carved, so they're pointy. And does anyone here speak primordial?
Nope.
Or Aquan, or any of those elemental
do speak
languages?
Yes,
Okay,
I do.
any of those primordial? There's a fire one and earth
That's right. I
one.
forgot the
I do
primordial and
abyssal.
aqua.
I have
Yes.
abyssal.
I don't believe abyssal is part of that tree. I could be wrong.
I think.
Yeah. So, if folks can describe it to you, Dorothea.
I'll point them out. Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Well,
I got
hiccups.
horrible
Right at
hiccups right now.
We will like shuffle around.
sorry.
Excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, you come around over here. Don't mind yourself.
have your sprite take a look at
That's my
this.
hand.
Lumbering
Stepped on my
along.
hand. Stepped on my hand.
You can totally
I'm glad
take
I'm
a
not
look at this.
claustrophobic.
Roll me an investigation, please, Dorothea. With your
Me? Okay.
well, who is doing the reading? You or your sprite?
My
Or-
sprite is doing the reading.
Okay. Does
I'll
that...
have him skitter under the little book.
Hey, Snapdragon.
You have your Sprite
I take
roll.
out a tiny pair of spectacles. I just want to say though, like a little pearl chain
Amazing.
that wraps
Oh
around.
my god, I love. You know what? I need to
Two
interact with
pieces
the
of grass
sprite
and a deep
more.
drop, and you're just like, let me see here.
Investigation. Sorry, I got horrible hiccups right now.
It's okay.
Oh, an 18, natural 18.
Nice.
That's what I
DC
got
was
too.
16. So obviously it can't read everything because the girl's on top of it. Some of it's got like old caked blood, but you
Gross.
do read. Gross. You do read, or should I say, your sprite does it? Does your sprite have a name?
It does not.
Okay. Well, your sprite reads the following: blood bonds as old as time. Those with cryptic and corrupted souls will be mine. Death will never find me. For death binds me.
Death binds you?
Binds me.
Okay.
What sort of creature? I mean, is it the skeleton? But skeletons are, I mean, undead.
Hmm.
Skeleton
what
is not
it
moving.
I know what it is out of character. But
Yes, I know, because I told you.
Okay. I know, but I also knew from, okay, look, you told me, but does that inform me that I would have known? Yes, it does, actually.
Well, you're just a
Improbable.
smart cookie.
Yes, I'm so smart. I'm American. Hell yeah, I'm smart. Anyway. So Bart's not good at puzzles, okay? So Bart looks at this and he's like, what? Great. We now know that something around here is like undead. And it sounds like, from what we know, like a wizard.
Oh.
You said Death is a wizard, or
No, I mean, I'm just assuming that we're talking about Vandersand here,
yeah.
who was a sorcerer, wizard, or whatever.
Bloodbound is
I'm just going to interrupt because, we're not, it's
Yeah.
not like we're streaming. So we have about 20 plus 30 minutes. We have 40 minutes to wrap everything up. We can have a quick break now and continue, maybe run a little bit longer, or we can finish and wrap it up next week. What would you like to do?
For the sake of John's sanity, I feel like we should probably wrap it up.
yeah, it's late.
Only because I'm good to go, but I just don't want John to stay up until like 5 in the morning or 6 in the morning or whatever.
And
Yeah.
riddles can get long. I'm good to stay too, but riddles can get
Mhm.
Pretty
mean,
long. I
Bart's
think we're
just
getting
gonna-
into the puzzle portion of things. So
No,
Mhm.
Bart's gonna just punch this girl off the thing and see what happens. Don't worry. Puzzles, what are those? Knock. I'm not gonna
great.
do it. Don't worry.
Right. The next thing I was gonna do was gonna try to see how the book would be involved in any of this since I have it.
Okay.
So
I want to see if the force field is, we can go through it from this side because I can't teleport us out again for another hour.
Mm.
hopefully,
We
it,
gotta figure it
hopefully it
out.
passes. Hopefully, it passes oxygen.
We in here
in
now.
between. It must pass oxygen in between, right?
And wildfire spray is just burning up all the atmosphere.
Exactly. I was like, your fire spray is gonna suffocate us all now. Great.
No.
No, not that kind of fire. Magic fire.
Right. It doesn't eat oxygen.
Angel, don't you do it. I have a bathroom.
Whatever you do, Lenobi agrees. I think that's what that is.
Right. I think. Yeah. So, John, it's up to you, really, and Adelaide. Neither of you have weighed in, have you?
I'm fine to wrap it up for today and save the puzzles for next.
Yeah, John.
I mean, I think I couldn't go. I could go a while longer, but not like super long, and just for the flow of it, just to I wouldn't want to stop it in the middle of figuring something out. So this might be a good spot. If that's
So
okay with
you have this information. You have finally found Clarice, and we will be back next week for episode 6.
Hello, Clarice. All right. I just wanted to say that.
The
Sorry.
ghost of Vandersand.
Spooky.
Silence of the Clarice.
Hello, Ursula.
Uh-oh.
Ursula, get into the
get,
yogurt.
Is that
get away
the
from that
yogurt?
yogurt. Get away from that yogurt. Get away from that yogurt.
You're trying, but I don't. She's like, no, this yogurt is mine.
Buns again.
You
I know.
know she's in the yogurt too.
And then she's
Yeah.
like, oh, I hear her coming out of the bathroom. All right, here we go. I'm not doing it.
So, everybody, today, let's do favourite moments. And Buns is not here, so I'm not going to do the poke yourself in the face game, because that's not fair, because Buns can't play. So, just open floor, favourite moments.
I mean, out of character, my favorite moment was seeing the dog sprawled in the chair. That was pretty good.
To show that Jaren called me
ranking
and he's
up
like,
there.
look right now, and I turned him around in the chair and I was like, no, everybody's gonna see it.
Yep. I think for me, it's been a while since we've done like the D&D like strategize and not just wander headfirst into something. And even though it utterly failed, which I don't care about that, it was nice to sort of like, we're a team and we have a plan. It doesn't matter if it works. So yeah, it was good. I think even though there were shenanigans, I just, I like playing with all y'all. So it was nice to. That's cheating, I know. It's like I like everything because everybody here is cool.
good to be back. Good to be back.
Definitely.
Yeah, but I definitely like the fight and sort of having that as like a little mini introduction to fighting something that who knows what it is. So yeah, that's me.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I also really enjoyed the plotting and planning, just kind of pulling out the shit that's in our bags and makeshifting bombs and punch fire things. That was fun. I rarely get to use like items in D&D, so that was really fun. That was really creative of us. I really liked that.
You were very creative. I was very impressed. John, anything to add?
I really enjoyed using some new abilities and stuff, trying out different bits and bobs, and just playing around with different things and seeing what they can wield, what kind of effects we can come up with. It's good.
Yeah, using Moxie points and like, I was like, look, my class is doing stuff. I like it. Oh, okay. So that was, it's
Moxie points and wild shapes, and it was
exactly. Unfortunately, D&D relies heavily on combat to truly utilize like a class. RP is what a lot of people put into D&D, but D&D is not about role playing. It's about rolling dice and
killing stuff.
And having sweet abilities. So anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt. Sorry, I just
No, it's perfectly
I'm
fine.
gonna
Anything else
stop
to
my
add, John?
D&D tirade.
Anything else to add, John? Ugh, words.
It's okay. I mean, apart from that, yeah, it's just I think coming up against monsters that you've never fought against and stuff is super fun. And I remember I have seen the art of that. You know, the really freaky red jelly with the corpse on the front, or the lure on the front, and yeah, actually meeting it face to face, as it were, is it's awesome.
My favourite part, sappy DM moment, was just spending time with you all. It's been a while. As I said, Wacky Wednesday, my favourite day. Just get to be myself, and this was also
Love
kind of
you too.
yeah, I love you. This is actually kind of nice, especially without streaming, without an audience as well. I don't know.
Peaceful.
It did feel very peaceful, didn't it? Like never having to worry about raids or thanking people for donations and stuff. So this was nice. And then the other thing I really liked was what I know we ran quite long in it. It wasn't supposed to be that long, but watching you plan, I was quite comfortable just to let you. Like I kind of thought when I planned this, we'll just have this here. Oh, cool. Lenobi remembers the thing. Like, it didn't matter what Lenobi... I was going to tell Lenobi that one piece of information, because I kind of thought that you would, like, scare it away and just plow through, because that's what you normally do. But as ever, as DM, you can never really predict your players, because the time that you think they're just going to charge ahead, they decide to plan. And I really enjoyed watching you plan, and I was just quite happy to just sit there and let you do it. And I was just like, well, I know this plan isn't going to work because... And I tried twice to give you moments to try and realise it had blind sense, because you could incorporate that into your plan. Like, Bart distracting it would have really, really worked, and then Lenobi could have whipped round, and then I could have seen that working. So I tried real hard to make that work, because I wanted your plan to work. I don't like it when you spend all that time planning and it doesn't quite work. It's awful. So I wanted to help as much as possible. But
Dealing with Fallout is just as fun.
yeah, dealing with Fallout is just as fun. It's so true.
Says the guy in Fukushima. Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry.
A little bit of local humour for you. So yes, I really, really enjoyed that. And since Buns is not back, I'm going to wrap up here. So we're going to go away now. We're probably going to talk smack about tea. We have, I think, a drink cook thing came up about scotch and tea, so we're going to go talk about that. I'm quite sure we'll talk about other things. This game will be back on its normal week next week, where we will actually finish the Ghost, the Vandersand, and actually start the finale part of Date with Death. Find out what Death is up to in the City of the Dead. So until next time, please stay safe, stay kind, and of course always stay in trouble and on fire. Good night.